Hey, welcome back to Metropole Grid. My name is Andre. Thanks for tuning in. It's August 3rd, 2023. We got a new set to play. We streamed earlier this week. We streamed from a long time. We did an afternoon stream. It was really fun. I'm super stoked we did that. No background music today? Wait, what? Wait, what? There was no background music? Oh my lord, there was no background music. You're right. That's good to know. Hold on. No, we got this. We got this. Yeah, I recorded a tier list video with Jeff, and so I needed him on a separate audio track. So apparently I messed it up. All it took was the intro to be over to find that out. Close enough. Yeah, I know. Whatever. It's fine. We'll edit it in post. We won't. How's everyone doing? How's the Automata Initiative been for all y'all? I've been playing some games online. I've been deck building. I've been brewing. It's been really fun. It's been really exciting. We recorded... What's it called? We recorded our tier list video on the corp side. That should be up on Jeff's channel, Synchron SC. It should be up relatively soon, I think. Maybe this weekend, maybe. I don't know. But then we'll do the runner side in the following week or so. So that's pretty exciting. We're testing so hard for APAC, it's wild. Yeah, APAC panics, Solomir, West Coast, APAC. Yeah, so if you don't know, the Asia Pacific Continentals is just like basically starts Friday evening in my time zone. Where can we get a link to that? Oh, that's not it. Up here. Asia Pacific Continentals. Firstly, if you want to watch it, it's in a time zone that makes a lot more sense for people who live in that area. If you're playing it here, you have to be pretty hardcore because it starts at like 10 in the evening and ends at like 5 in the morning. You can still do it. But it's an online continentals. There's also the Euro Africa continentals, which might have a worse or better time zone for you, depending on where you live. I'm not actually sure what the times are, which is the following weekend. No, it's 2 weekends. It's from then. And then the upcoming weekend is America Continentals, which is played in person in Bellevue, Washington. That's the Cascadia event, which is really exciting. But if you're watching this and you want to play in some organized play Netrunner, it's entirely open to everyone. You don't have to like qualify for Continentals. That could be like a really intimidating name, but let me tell you, you can just roll up and play whatever you want. And it's the new meta with new rotation in the standard format. So it's really exciting for a lot of people. Currently, there's already like 50 plus people signed up. 47, okay, a ballpark. 50 people signed up. Prize support is sick. This balloon is gorgeous. I appreciate how the null signal like template for cards, for like full art cards, is like slowly changed and slowly has, I would say, evolved. This is really clean. But yeah, that blown art is fantastic. What a powerful card. It's nice to have a really powerful art as well as the fin looking real sharp there on the urban renewal next to I think Lizzie Mills, right? That's really, 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 really cool. So I'm excited for that. I might be doing some casting again. Twitch.tv/nullsignal Netrunner will be streamed on. So if you want to hit that follow button on YouTube, you'll get a notification when they go live. Again, 10 in the morning, or sorry, 10 in the evening here. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to actually be doing casting at the end. It turns out like it's 2 days. And so I don't think the top cut, I think I was pitched that the top cut would be, hold on, my stuff is a bit messed up here, but it would be like a longer event so I could wake up in the morning and join, but I don't know if that's going to be a thing. So maybe. Awesome. Jessica, how's it going? Stab Tabby. Almost finished the 6-hour stream from the other day. A lot of fun. Yo, for real. So like we streamed, obviously a new set came out, but we streamed in the middle of the day, which is a great time zone for a lot of people. Either those who are like, don't want to do their work, or for folks who are in Europe. Like there's a lot of things that this time zone doesn't tickle for a lot of folks. And the numbers were really good. Like just the viewership numbers were like pretty impressive. And so I don't know if those numbers are good because there's a new set or just because it's a good time to stream at. I'd love your feedback because if those numbers just like are that reasonable for just that time, regardless of the new set, which there's no way it's not the new set. Yeah, we'll be streaming a fair bit more at those time zones. It made a lot of sense. Also, Grendel, same, took me 3 days to watch the whole thing. Glad you enjoyed it. Jet Set Radio. TIE, so good. Yo, Izzy, you say that now? We'll quote you once you get tag stormed to death when you're beholden. It's been wild. Alex, how's it going? Of the 1.5 games, super fun. Arissana go burr. We're gonna play some Arissana tonight. We're gonna play some weird Arissana. We did some like testing in like degree mill sessions for, I guess testing maybe is, we're more theory crafting than testing already, but like some Arissana decks that are like pretty reasonable, good stuff. It looks really good. It looks really fun and interesting. It's kind of a really wild list in general to figure out how you make run-based shaper tempo positive, but we're gonna do some weird Arissana today, I'm pretty sure. I've been getting stomped as Arissana. Arissana 2 is like a really interesting thing because I think people are going out of the gate teching into Arissana pretty hard with like the magnets, the tattoo bolas, and all the trashing of the stuff that you can do at your own speed. That's not going to be good for Arissana. But I also think a lot of the Arissana decks that are rolling up right now are probably way greedier than they should be, because they're trying to, like, you know, here's my 13 Trojans and here is me installing 7 things so I can fire an environmental testing, which is probably not worth the pursuit of environmental testing. And I think it's a matter of time before we see something that's a bit more reasonable, that's a bit more like, oh, you only have 6 Trojans, but that's okay. You reinstall them all the time. So that's kind of where I put myself. But like, yeah, Arissana is cool. So many people playing Apex since you can play multiple this year. Yeah, it's a really weird thing. Like, I don't know how I feel about the whole multiple Continentals play thing. Like, I don't know why that change happened. Maybe it's for the better. But like, if the same person wins 2 Continentals, it's going to feel weird. I don't know if it's going to be great. Still bother me is that the full art agendas have the points in a total different location than on the regular frame. But that Bologna is so good. Yeah, they're further down, right? I wonder if... Technically, there's like rules now in the organized play policies about where, you know, you have to have your stuff clear on all your alt arts, whether it passes that. Would I be evil for saying that I don't like the layout? I don't know, it just feels incorrect. On the Bologna? No, that's like reasonable feedback. You can do that. Like, honestly, for runner cards, I want full art runner cards with no text. And that's what we're doing for our alt art for Cannats, is that we have the back is just a full art. Which for a runner card, I think that's reasonable. For a corp card, that's pretty bad. Like, you don't want someone to access a card and have no text on it. For a runner card, you can flip it over. If you'd be like, oh, this is so-and-so. And they'd be like, I don't know the text. You just like, okay, let me fix that for you. Maybe it'll matter if they look at your deck. I don't know. Hey, Tobel. The stream the other day was amazing. Hey, glad you liked it. I had a lot of fun. The time doesn't work for me to watch live, but I watch after the fact. Yeah, that'll happen. It was the middle of the night for me. Perfect for Europe. All I'll say is we've tested R+. Yeah, Izzy, I hear how it is out there. And I don't want to like feed into it because I worry that like APAC people are going to hear all this like muttering about R+, and then it's just going to be an R+ meta. And I don't know how you tech into R+ meta. APAC would be my Continental, but I don't play the game. I'll watch a bit probably. Yeah, it's exciting to watch, even if you don't want to play, right? Like there's some good content out there to watch. 55 card freedom has been pretty fun for me. Hey, Lava. It's like really weird building Anarch. Maybe there's some pessimism here, but like I've been testing out some Anarch, and not like, you know, game breaking Anarch, just like comfortable Anarch. And like I got a Hoshiga Go deck that has like 1 new card in it, and it's fine. It's totally fine. Like I don't know. I'm maybe it's because I'm not swinging into Audrey or anything, but like, yeah, it turns out playing 3 Amakua and then like Leech is just good enough. It's like fine. It means that your breaker suite, like you don't have to worry about your breaker suite, and then you just play what's it called? Oh, this one doesn't even have it in it, but the one online I have has like the price in it, which is a great card. The price is great. But like so uninteresting. Don't look at this too long. Me like weird, what's weird about it? Wait, sorry, Steb. Also, Flippy, how's it going? The tag meta in TA is something that's for sure. Shaper really needs an anti-tag card now. That misdirection is wrong. I thought for a second that like the rollerblades would clear a tag, but apparently no. It's net damage and a bypass effect. Or not bypass, an on-encounter effect, which like is really weird in Arissana, because Arissana already has one of the best accesses to Hush ever in the history of the game. So it doesn't exactly make sense. Like I don't know why Arissana would play the canonical rollerblades. Like I don't get it. I don't think this text is relevant. And then obviously as a charge thing, but like this, you just Hush things. I don't know. But that's a really good ability though. Hush is really good right now. APAC has been won by someone in NA the last 3 years anyways. Yeah, usually West Coast. But that's okay. That's fine. What if that person also wins American Continentals? Like there's a chance that someone's going to win APAC and then roll down to like Cascadia and win the same event. Most running decks I got are some of it. Excuse me. Hey, Tanuki. Best I found so far is slotting networking. Yeah, networking is like not that bad. I'm like surprised to be, you know, not to feel that networking is awful. It's a card that you can't tutor. Hey, Maddie. It's a card that you can't tutor, but like you are clearing a lot of tags through a game of Netrunner. So like this card is easily can be a 6 to 7 econ card in your deck if you really want it, which is like kind of nice. It's just like, how do you find it? Where does it make sense? American Nationals was finally won by an American. Maybe APAC will be finally won by a local. Hey, it could happen. Cannats was won by American. Cannats won. Plenty of acid tag storm on JNet. Yeah. Well, when Epiphany gets released, you know? No Fermenter? Wait, no, there was Fermenter in that deck. Wait, how did I build an Anarch deck without Fermenter? Okay, that's not right. This deck should have had Fermenter in it. I feel like the JNet version does. Don't look at this too hard. Add 3 Fermenter, add 3 price. And I feel like I changed something. Probably another Hippo's good with Amakua. But like, it's fine. It's like you don't need any of the new cards with good stuff Anarch, it turns out. I don't know. You gotta Hush preemptively to block on res effects though. Oh, for Hush, yeah. For on-res effects, you got to block, but they're really hard to block. On-res effects are really, really good in this set. It's an anti-magnetable Hush, though. I think getting your Hush magneted is fine. You just, like, return it with a Vernissage. It's dead for one turn, but it's okay. You're right, it does deal with Magnet, but, like, I don't even know if Magnet's the best tech against Arissana. I think there's better cards. Also, Ritruk. Good evening, how's it going? It is sad that you can't pay for networking with prepaid. Yeah, it's a really weird card. I like cards like this. Oh, well, I kind of like cards like this. It's kind of weird that it's like always there. Maybe that's boring that you play the same card 19 times, but it's gross. Networking is actually not that bad, or words that I never hear back when it was printed. Yeah, I know. Like, this was such a joke of a card, but now there's like literally no card in the game that can clear more than one tag with any sort of efficiency. I think Baya Bands is better than it looks. I think people are playing it. I don't think every deck wants to play it, but like networking is reasonable. I'm not really sold on the price. We'll need to see it play. I think the price is really good. Like, look, you have a 45 card deck. Generally in any game in Netrunner, you play at most 30 cards. So that means you have 15 cards that are just garbage. So spending one click to draw 4 cards and install the one that makes sense for 3 fewer is really quite good. Yeah, no, this is phenomenal. And I'm like not onto Strike Fund. We'll do our tier list after, but like I don't know if you play Strike Fund with this. If it hits Steel Skin, it hits a Steel Skin. That's sick too. But like, yeah, no, this thing's great. It finds you the thing you need. And Anarch specifically is not very consistent. You don't draw 4 cards, you pseudo draw 4 cards. You're 4 cards deeper in your deck to find the one thing you need right now. And that's a big thing. It's trying to find the thing that you need right now is kind of what Netrunner is about. Your goal in Netrunner is not to install every single card in your deck and not to draw every single card in your deck. It's to find the cards that you need for this board state. And this finds you the cards you need for the board state. It's really, really powerful. Keep as a second grip? Not anymore. Without the bin breakers, that's not even true, unfortunately. Using the price to install Liberate for -3 and maybe for free with a big Paladin stack feels amazing. Yeah, there's like really good hits with this. Obviously you have events in your deck. It could whiff. If it whiffs, it's probably okay. Because if you're looking for something, you're going to still be 3 cards closer to finding it, or 4 cards closer to finding it. I think people are confusing the price is good with Steel Skin is good, but I'm open to be proved wrong. Genuinely, the price might be more playable than Steel Skin. Steel Skin is fine, but like what the price does if the meta is fast in some ways is more important than Steel Skin. If there's no damage in the meta, and obviously like Banhar gets a bit harder to play, I think, without the bin breakers, I think price is actually potentially a more consistent card. Now obviously Steel Skin is great. 1 to draw 3 is just good enough. Yeah, it's Diesel. I think the price is correct. Yeah, no, this card's really, really good. This is a very, very consistent card that does so much for a single slot. It's really cool. The price also lets you get the bottom of the deck for Labor Rights Endgame. Yeah, Alex, I don't think that's real. I really don't think the Labor Rights Endgame is a real thing. I feel like the speed of the game is at the point where like people shouldn't be decking out. If you are decking out, it's probably you don't have a way to close the game out, or you're playing against something like really, really, really slow. I'm not sure if you need to get to that weird Labor Rights Endgame where you stack your deck and it's like only 3 cards, and when you trash, you gain 6 or whatever, 6 credits clicklessly, and you keep, and that's weird. Yeah, no, this thing's good. An old trick from Magic to get over the fear of self-mill. Pretend those cards were on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, no, Narendil, how's it going? That's what we say that a lot on this channel. Like the cards that you trash, you can imagine they're on the bottom of your deck. And now from this point on to the game, when you're making decisions, oh, if I draw now, I have a 1 in 2 chance to draw into this. You actually have better information. And again, you don't draw all your cards. You'll be fine. Hey, Theo, how's it going? Al's experience might be a bit skewed based on what he's been playing against. Is he getting decked out? My Audrey Freedom keeps hitting the end of the game, but maybe I need to include a win condition in the deck. Yo, Jeff, I couldn't watch live yesterday. I watched a bunch of your the Audrey games, and then the op games are so fun with Tucana. Man, they look really exciting. You have a lot of choices in them. But that is, I think, the best I've seen Audrey look so far. I don't know if I'm really excited about the card. Obviously, with Freedom, it's good. Well, like it's the easiest to play. But yeah, no, I think that's the one deck that where like Strike Fund feels really good, or at least better, where it's like you can get it to fire conditionally at instant speed, and that's nice. But yeah, Audrey's a wild card. Such a wild card. I still have no idea which combination of breakers and tricks Anarch should be running. Oh, it's called Amakua. It's like really easy. It's Amakua. You run 3 of them. You run 3 leeches. Heaven forbid you're running an Ice Carver. I think that's good. I'm also like really interested to try out, and like this seems bad, but if you want more ice destruction, like can you just run Monkey Wrench and then Chisel? Like, is that a plan? I'm also not sure if Banner is better than Cleaver. It might not be. But like, can you run Monkey Wrench? Like Monkey Wrench is one of the only cards in the game that works with that works well with Chisel. I just don't know if that's like makes any sense. It's so hard. I still having a fair bit versus the Glacier deck. Was testing last night with the price and Gachapon. I was at the end of the deck pretty quickly. Oh, if you do that and Gachapon, I guess Gachapon only takes out what, 3 cards? But if you do that, you might deck out pretty quickly, and then maybe you can set up a Labor Rights endgame. But I don't know if you need to do both of them. You probably can. Yeah, you can play Gachapon at the price and install your entire deck by turn 8. The question is how you make that winning. Yeah, it's hard to make bottoming out a win condition. It is really difficult. Banner feels so specifically like Mercury support to me. Yeah, it is very good Mercury support. I think Mercury, they really like it because they can get through their stuff, no problem, without breaking subroutines. But I feel like in Anarch, it's very comparable in the Cleaver until cost. I just don't know. Like what kind of, I don't know if you're going to see all the endless Eulas in the world. It's not like Cleaver's that much worse into it. It's not like you're good at the high strength stuff anyways with that rig. So it's really weird. It's really, really strange. Kato, how's it going, by the way? Considering Banner's new and cool, Cleaver's old and boring. Simple, I play Thassa's Oracle. Instead, everything I win once I deck out. I learned about that card today. I watched a video where that card was a relevant Magic card. It says you win if your deck doesn't exist. Banner meets Brawn 1.0 sad. Yeah, but it's really easy to fix, right? Like, Leech is so good right now. I think there's a lot of Mavirus out there, but like just one Leech counter. Again, people don't play Ice Carver. And like, this is the weird thing that I've been seeing so far. And I've been spectating a whole bunch of games, but it seems like there's a lot of Netrunner right now that has kind of like jumped backwards in time. And maybe it's because we got a card that looks like Leela, and maybe it's because we're back to like fixed strength breakers. But there's a lot of like deck shells that are like pretty old that almost directly translate to this meta because we have tools that are very similar. Not directly, but very similar. So like a very classic deck that's been quoted for a long time is this like L4J looking for job deck that like the Spags has a version. Stephen Woolley, the Team Covenant, played one of these before. I think that one had an Ice Carver. But like this sort of breaker suite, which is like, you know, Corroder, you can replace this with Cleaver. You can play Corroder if you really want to. The Mimic and then the Yogg instead of your Buzzsaw. Then you're running 3 copies of Data Sucker, that's Leech. Then instead of your Davids, you have Botulus, that's really good. Instead of your Parasites, you have Hippos, that's kind of the same thing, as much as this deck relied more on Clone Chip to be able to get the Parasites back, trashing stuff. And then you have play some pressure card, whatever it is. And then you have most of these cards, they still exist. Like most of these other cards still exist. And I think if you're worried about like the mid to high strength stuff, like Atman is kind of probably better than it looks right now. Shoutouts to the Null Signal team. I think most of the ice that came on the set does have different strength numbers, but if you're like running into 4 or 5 strength stuff that's really shutting you down, like Atman is just kind of a cool card, especially with Leech. And AI hate in this meta, currently not that big of a deal. It's like virtual service assistants. Maybe someone triple advances with a tree line, a Whoredom, but like it's not real. It can't hurt you. So like this stuff is really wild, how old school and how like back to basics this sort of thing is. And same for the criminal decks. Like you can play Leela decks that are kind of just the same idea, that are Leela 419 with like what's it called, Mercury, or not Mercury, with Hermes, and you're good to go. I feel like if we had a knifed or other high impact ice destruction card that could be recurred at the Labor Rights game plan, would make a lot of sense. Yeah, because when you get to the bottom of your deck, what are you doing? Are you just like Labor Rightsing back in infinite economy with your what's it called, with your liberated accounts? It's really weird. It's a shame Null rotated out before he got to use Monkey Wrench. Mushin, how's it going? I don't even know if Null would want the Monkey Wrench, right? I'm not sure, but yeah, weird. I think Labor Rights can be pretty relevant in some ESA decks. How do you play ESA right now? Like, I feel like ESA, obviously ESA is playable in startup, but like in standard, now that you're losing the bin breakers, the play pattern is a bit more difficult. I think Banhar is a bit more difficult in general. But I'm wondering what ESA looks like. Like, are you actually playing Begamot? Or are you then just playing instead, that's not going to search properly. Oh, that worked. Or are you playing instead Tremolo? Right, and then you have to install these cards early. This is such an expensive install. Hey, Rongi, you get Begamot. Yeah, you have Begamot, and Begamot is good. It's just like you have to play and install this. And that was, again, like you saw that when you played against ESA decks back for the last couple months, is that by turn 3, turn 4, ESA had like an absurd amount of credits because ESA wasn't forced to do anything that cost credits for such a long time. ESA was just charging in with, you know, Banhar and just like forcing you to deal with stuff and not spending their credits or Xur credits on breakers until it was set up, right? Like it's totally different when you have to pay 5 credits for a 2 MU card. On turn 2 potentially, so you don't lose it to core damage. It's really difficult. I think Abasu, Begamot, Noom is my go-to suite. Yeah, I saw you playing Abasu, Jeff, and like, yeah, it's maybe fine. It is a bit of card draw. The numbers are kind of shit. If you again have the Leech backup suite, right? Like, is this the card that you just installed so you can not get leeched out by Amaku'd out by a virtual service agent? Maybe. It is card cycling. It fires your what's it called, the strikes and your steel skins, right? Yeah, That's kind of cool. That's a neat interaction. And these are the sort of cards that I know we talked about in the tier list are like reasonable cards, but they're just not going to exist. And it's like a really big thing when it comes to the heat breakers. Like these were never the best breakers in terms of like the numbers. They were just the best breakers because they worked best with all the support pieces. So like going back and reevaluating really strange cards are kind of exciting. It's really cool. The problem is your best cards are Amakua, Botulus, Hippo, and the expensive but efficient rig of 3 real breakers doesn't complement them well. No, it really doesn't. It's like you need them sometimes because you're struggling to deal with like getting triple iced out. I don't know whether you're playing Devil Charm just to be able to like not get triple iced out and then locked out from Essential Server to charge Amakua. Again, Mavirus in Archives is a problem. You can't really solve that. So like there's downsides to it and Corpse can play into it, but like Amakua Leech just seems so absurdly good. I don't know why every faction isn't playing it right now. Interesting to hear that this is back to basics. I've been playing for 3 sets now. This one feels positively wacky. Yeah, it's really strange. Like I'm kind of, again, I do think that this sort of package is like somewhat okay. It's like somewhat okay to literally card for card basically play this deck or from what is this, 2015. It's so weird. What is the go-to code gate to test numbers for Icebreaker now FC3 and Mouseless have gone? I'd argue that Mouseless was almost always a bad one because you never did break it. FC3 also, I guess you did want to break it from time to time. But right now it's kind of hard to tell. I guess off the top of the dome, and it's not that you're seeing it, it's like, how do you break a Mick? In this is like the mid-range code gate, I guess, in what's it called? In HB. In Jinteki, you have Vampiranasa and the Atini. And I think you're going to see which side people like that better. In Wayland, in terms of code gates, well, you got nothing really. You got Hordem and Afshar. I think honestly, Hordem is probably a reasonable place to start. It's fine. It's fine. And then like, what do you have? What's the other faction? NBN and code gates, Funhouse, but that already has a ceiling on top of it. Toll Booth is always an interesting one to look at. And then VSA, but like everyone breaks VSA, hopefully for credit. If I could search VSA and it shows up on NetRunDB, that would be sick. Oh, Magnet. Yeah, Magnet's reasonable too. Like Magnet falls into the same camp largely of Enigma. Whenever I look at a decoder, I always say like, what does it cost to break Enigma? I guess Magnet's the same camp largely because usually +1 strength, +1 subroutine should break even, but not all for breaker suites it does. The Admin 4 Dream? Which one is? Vampy is. I watched Wiki take someone apart on JNet earlier with Mercury. It was brutal early pressure. Yeah, we had some like ridiculous games on, what was it, on Tuesday where like we won on turn 2. They flooded slightly and you just win on turn 2. Outfit has Valenciao. Yeah, outfit has Valenciao. The thing is like, that is very specifically only going to be the outfit. So like understanding that, like, how do you break Valenciao? How do you break Trebuchet? That's kind of an outfit issue. It's not really an issue outside of outfit. Oh, Mick and Vampy. Yeah, they're both 4. They're both 4. That's pretty good. Abasu bad against the NBN one? Abasu is like not good against anything. Abasu is only good against like Thimblerig, Virtual Service Assistant. And I'm hot on Virtual Service Assistant, but like, yeah, the numbers on this are not good. But that's like the beauty of like these sort of cards. And like, okay, let's not that I don't know where I stand currently on Audrey V3, whatever the version is, but the sort of decks that we're playing Faust, which is the sort of cards that are like that, you might see decks like this that actually do the same sort of thing, where they run 3 of their AI breaker, whether that's, you know, Amakua, whether that's probably not Atman, but Atman Leech, it's on its own, is its own breaker suite. And then on top of that, they run some other small support pieces. So usually it's like 1 Mimic, just so that they could deal with Swordsman back then, which like modernly hasn't been a problem. So maybe you run 1 or 2 Abasus so you can at least deal with Hordem potentially, or you could deal with Virtual Service Assistant. And I don't think Wraparound is a problem you're actually worrying about, but Wraparound, for what it's worth, is technically another card that is AI hate because it forces a Fractor out. Abasu plus Leech and fine. Yeah, Abasu plus Leech is fine, but like any breaker plus Leech is fine, right? Yeah. Anyways, really weird. It's really strange out there. I do think just fixed strength breaker Anarch, like you can build a 50 card Hoshiko deck and it's like not that different. You just lost your breaker suite and it does hurt because it does definitely hurt all your synergy cards. Whether you want to play Banner or not, that's kind of up to you. Maybe it's time to put Swordsman back in the deck. I think you can definitely put Swordsman back in some Jinteki decks. I'm not convinced it's the best splash out of faction. Like if you're playing NBN, you have Virtual Service Assistant, that gets you there. If you're playing against Wayland, you can play Hordem. Triple advancing it on tempo is really hard unless you're playing, well, Tree Line, which you should be. Tree Line's nice. I think Tree Line's good. But yeah, I don't know. We played Swordsman the other day. It was a pain. They did eat an Amakua at some point. They saw it coming, but our opponent had to go through it because we forced them to game point. So that's pretty cool. Speaking of game point, it's an Iswak deck. And shout outs to this deck. We're not going to play it because it's in the old meta. It is pre-rotation. I don't know if there's any straight up rotated cards here, but Obokata got banned out. But otherwise, I think this deck is actually safe to rotation besides Aiki. I'm going to say quickly, besides Aiki. But this deck is really cool because shoutouts, this is a Lost Geek deck list. And not only did Lost Geek post this, but Lost Geek attached this to a video on the New World Urder YouTube channel. And the New World Urder YouTube channel, mind you, NWE is like a pretty big testing group for European players of high skill. I don't know, how much have they been playing for the last little while? I don't know. I haven't seen too much from the New World Order, but they have a YouTube channel that has like 3 or 4 videos on it. The last video they posted was about 10 months ago, but every video they post, as like sporadic as they are really, really good. So that's Paula himself, and he goes through and talks about this replay. This is a really cool way of presenting a replay because he hid the replay banner. Not that it takes up too much of the screen, I think. And then he just goes through what he was thinking. And it's actually a really nice way to go over replays. That's different than how we do our gameplay stuff on this channel, but I appreciated it. And it's a really well put together video. It is about, you can change this deck and modernize it, no problem. You got some new ice. You don't have Obokata, so find something else in the slot. But basically talking about it, Isawak is good. How good is Isawak? I'm not convinced that the ability was the best ability for this deck from the games I watched, but it definitely looked like a deck that could do something. So that's really cool if you want to play Isawak and you want to try it out. Hey, Albin, any equivalent to Plascrete these days? Hippocampic. Equivalent to Plascrete so you don't die? Hippocampic is a possibility, but I think Hippocampic is a pretty bad card overall. It's super negative tempo, and then you still have to draw in, so that's not good. If you want something that stops you from dying from one big kill, one burst in one small package, I think the easiest to play is Stone Chip Chart Room. You install this, it's not dead in any matchups that you don't need it, and in any matchup you need it, if you're heavily tagged or you think something bad's going to happen, you can clicklessly draw 2 cards. It's not as foolproof as the big old concrete fridge was, but it's a lot easier to play, and it's not bad in the worst matchups. If you want to be like a really, really defensive, you have On the Lamb. This is not a legal card anymore. You can't play this in standard, but I think Stone Chip is probably the easiest card to play that fits that. There's nothing else that prevents massive meat damage, if I'm not mistaken, but something that like draws at instant speed is nearly as good, but is also like not terrible in every other matchup. It's a fun deck to pilot. Oh, the Isawak one, I haven't played it. I want to see if Yute was any better now than it was when it came out. And it's like the same as Abisu without the draw. And it has like that ugly restriction of like 3 virtuals, which is like totally doable. I don't think you're at a loss of virtuals, but yeah, the restrictions on this are really bad. The numbers are largely the same, but besides this, whoa, what? Oh, once per run. Yeah, that's not great. Hey Kat, how are you liking the new cards? There's like still IDs I haven't played. What I've seen so far I've really enjoyed. I'm really enjoying the reset on everything. Like that's just really fun. Rotation would be fun, but so far I'm really into the cards. In fact, we're gonna play more of them today. We're gonna try out Arissana for the first time, which like obviously stoked for Arissana. I had a lot of fun playing Ateo. I thought Ateo was like pretty wild. We played it on Tuesday. It was really great. How are you enjoying it? I think you mean Adore. Adore is the killer that is the very same text to Yute, but Adore actually does something interesting, which does break all Sentry Subroutines for free. That is notable. The problem is like Yute is not notable because Abisu has basically all the same numbers without a downside and has an upside. Like there's literally no reason to play Yute, if I'm not mistaken. Like literally no reason. That makes sense. Thanks. Also, East Coast Nats was a lot of fun. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I thought Abisu was a killer. I basically only had to read that card before. Oh yeah, Abisu is the Noom was the killer that came alongside Abisu, if I'm not mistaken. In that cycle, if not in the same pack. I don't think in the same pack. But yeah, this thing's weird. This thing's really weird too. But it's not too bad. It's not too bad. If you're paying 4 credits for an install and you're not hoping not to use it because you're playing something like this is where Noom is really good. Noom comes in at 8 strength. That gets you through, I think, every single sentry unless somebody goes really ham on a Colossus. But this is the exact sort of idea. If you're playing Audrey and you just want to have a way that you run into like an archer and you don't just absolutely lose the game, yeah, you can have a Noom as a backup breaker, which is kind of a nice spot for it. It's really cool. Adore, very playable when Tour Guide around, but less so now. Yeah, I think there was the while that you imported, is this Shrike? Whatever the Sunny Breaker that broke sentries was. Yeah, Shrike, right? The same. 2 for all is good enough. Tour Guide. Okay, let's build a deck. Again, we're not gonna play this one, so we're just gonna go into deck building and we're gonna be playing some what's it called? Some Arissana. And we're gonna build some weird Arissana because I think the straightforward Arissana, I don't know. I think we built a deck this afternoon that I like, but I'm gonna not do it today for some reason. We're gonna do something stranger. It hits Starlight Night if you go tag me at least. I haven't seen a Starlit Knight yet. I do think the face check on it's really good. Weird? Yeah, let's do weird. We're going to do weird. So this is Arissana. Arissana. She has an absolutely fantastic text box. You get a free install, clicklessly, and no credit extra, but only during a run. If it's not a Trojan, it gets trashed at the end of the run. But if it's a Trojan, that's fine. You just saved an entire click, and not only do you send a click, but you are good to go. You can react. So after they res, you can still on approach do stuff. When you encounter, you can get stuff down at instant speed. There's a lot of flexibility here, and so there's so many engines that this works with. Some of them a bit more consistent, some of them a bit more wacky. Saucy and Aesops are Q-loop weird. It's some mixture of those. I do want to do the Q-loop decks, but I think if we're going to do the Q-loop decks, we're probably going to play as with like Slap Vandal and then Q-loop and then Poison Vial. So I think we want to play Arissana first before we get that. But Saucy Aesops is like such a cool shout out because that's exactly what I was looking at today. And it's like, wait a second, this seems really familiar, but also very strange. I don't think we're going to exactly do that. I think we're going to be doing the de-rezzed package with Saucy. So I think we're going to be playing the, what's it called? The, whatever that hardware that lets you de-res infinitely. The Chesva decks, those are the sort of decks. I also think the World Tree decks are going to be really interesting. You play Flame Out and all the breakers you don't care about. That's fantastic. But check this out. So like Aesop's Pawn Shop, powerful econ engine for a long time. But I'd argue that a lot of the cards that were core to Aesop's Pawn Shop decks have rotated from the last rotation. So firstly, you have Aesop's Pawn Shop. It's been around since the original 2012 FFG core set and has been an absolutely adored economy engine for shapers who want to install a lot of stuff. And Arissana is really good at installing a lot of stuff. So that's phenomenal. But the big thing is there's two huge cards in the Pawn Shop engine that have rotated. Firstly, Reaver. This is a card that said whenever you trash something, first time a turn, you drew a card. So this means every time you pawn shop something, not only did you get 3 credits, but you got a card draw, and that card draw is important because it fuels this whole engine. So you have more cards in your hand to install. Now, it's not that dire because while Reaver is going to be missed, and the fact that it works like with Stone Ship Chart Room and on the corpse turn really easily, that's going to be missed for sure. But on the plus side, we have Lily Pad, which is a card that a lot of the Aesop's Pawn Shop decks from all the way back in 2012 would have enjoyed to this point. So that's really cool. But the other thing that we lose is food. We lose food. And I don't mean global food. I mean like Harbinger food. Generally, anytime Aesop's Pawn Shop decks have been good, there's always been a card that its unique purpose in the deck is something just to sell to pawn shop. So Harbinger as a card does nothing. It interacts with nothing on the table. It does nothing but allows you to trash itself twice. So you pawn shop it once, it's 0 cost, 0 MU. You trash it, it goes face down, and then you pawn the face down card. So for a single click alongside Aesop's Pawn Shop and Reaver, you got 6 credits, but on top of that, you also got 2 card draw, which is incredibly powerful for a single click. That's actually a really good install. And in some mid to late games, you actually will simul chip this nearly blank card back just to be able to get 6 more credits and 2 more card draw. Why wouldn't you? But this is gone. And it's worth noting that earlier in Netrunner, before Harbinger actually caught on, even at the same time that Harbinger was legal, Cash was a lot of times considered to be the sort of best food card for the Aesop's Pawn Shop decks. Cash is another card that like mysteriously does next to nothing. And I love cards like this. It's a criminal card that comes down and it costs 1 credit and it just gives you 3 virus counters that you can pull off at any instant speed window to get 3 credits. So you paid 1 to gain 2. So bad card. Criminals didn't play this. You don't want to spend an install that takes up MU that gives you 2 credits. That's nonsense. But it saw play in virus tribal decks, but also you can install it and also in a virus tribal deck, I guess, gain 2 credits and then sell it. So it was a 5 credit single install with these pawn shop decks. And back in the day, also Cash was considered a lot of times more good than Harbinger on the basis that it was more tempo positive. Like you're technically locked behind 2 turns to get your 6 credits full from your pawned Harbinger. But for Cash, you got 5 credits in a single turn. And a lot of people like that a lot more. And while these 2 cards were both 1 influence out of faction, at times that you could play both Cash and Harbinger, Cash was usually the one that got soft play. Because you could also do cool things where you installed it clicklessly from hand to get credits on the turn that you were also installing other things. It was like a really neat thing that worked. But we don't have it. But boy, do we have Cash at home. This is saucy, which like in theory, we can install this clicklessly as a Trojan and we can host it on a piece of ice when we approach the piece of ice. And then if the corp reses it, we gain 3 credits, which is exactly how much money you're going to get from a Cash. So in theory, we can now install this. Hopefully the corp reses because we're aggressive. If we do, we got our 2 credits. And even if we do or don't pass the ice, we can go ahead and pawn this the next turn. I don't know if that's exactly what we're going to do. I don't think we need to pawn it, but it's really funny how the text on this card functionally is Cash, but you have to be running or de-rezzing, but mostly rezzing, which I think is really, really goofy and that kind of is interesting. This was called out in the article, and it's really important to understand. And luckily on this channel, we did a whole video to talk about the timing structure. And I think that's a very good watch, especially if you're playing in the upcoming Continentals or you want to understand the upcoming Continentals a bit better, because the nuance of the timing structure during a run is incredibly important with Arissana, who she interacts at any paid ability window during a run is so important. Because, in short, when you approach a piece of ice, you as a runner, because you're running, you're the active player. So whenever the paid ability window opens during the approach, you have priority, which means you get to go first. And so that is the window that you can install your Saucy on an ice before it's possibly rezzed. But a very similar card to Saucy that you will be seeing in Arissana decks is Cuban. And Cuban says you gain 2 credits, not when the ice is rezzed, but when you pass the piece of ice. So the idea is that here is the first time that you're allowed to install the Cuban on the ice. If you do nothing in that paid ability window, if that paid ability window opens when you approach the piece of ice and you say, I don't want to do anything, and then you pass it to the corporation, that is the paid ability window in which the corporation is allowed within the timing structure to actually res the ice. But if the corporation refuses to res the ice and does nothing within that paid ability window, then we have a player who received paid ability window priority, who now has their time to do paid abilities, and they pass immediately. As soon as a player receives a paid ability priority and they immediately pass before doing anything, the entire window collapses and closes, which means it never returns back to the runner. So the runner can't say, oh, I see you chose not to res, so in response, I will install my Cuban, so I know I can pass this and guarantee getting 2 credits. That just simply doesn't exist. And that's the same idea to some extent with Saucy, but very important with Cuban, is understanding that on an approach, the runner has to go first. If they choose to do nothing, then the corporation goes. And then this is the only time that they can choose to res the ice. If they don't res the ice and they don't do anything in that paid ability window, the window closes and you don't go to encounter, because you only encounter res dice, you go to the movement stage and you have no time to host a Cuban on something. So if you want to host your Cuban, you have to kind of call your shot before you give the opponent the ability to res the ice. And they're always going to be able to react to the information that there's a Cuban or a Saucy on the ice. Keep that in mind. Incredibly important. Also very important, if the corp does res the ice, that means they did do something in the paid ability window, which means once they're done doing all of their cool things in that paid ability window, including resing without interruption, they have to pass priority back to you. So once they do res the ice, that is when you can get back the paid ability on the approach and then still use Arissana there. So if you haven't used Arissana already during the run, you can use it as a response when they res the ice. We have a whole video talking about this, but understanding that, which is not as complicated as it might sound, is incredibly important to understand the sort of like game of chicken that Arissana technically does introduce on every single run, which is really, really cool. Let me catch up on my chat and let air catch up back in my head. I talk too much. Cash rotating, we still had pawn shop decks? Yeah, but that's only because we had Harbinger and Reaver to some extent. Yo, Janktivist, doing some APAC testing, playing from the East Coast at 10 p.m. tomorrow. There's so many people doing that. That is hardcore. I'm going to be watching a bit of the stream in the evening. I don't know. Maybe I'll cast, and it's kind of hard. It's late to cast. It's hard to cast that late. Maybe I can. I don't know. We'll look into it. Is there a return to grip card? Yes. Vernissage. Vernissage is the deck that returns all your things to grip, which is really important. And here's where being a starter player sucks. This absolutely would be my pet card if I could play it. Which one, Stab? Cash? As a newish player, the timing windows in Netrunner is quite confusing. Duncan, it's not as bad as it sounds. Again, we tried to make a video to make it as approachable as possible. If you watch that video and you find it still confusing or you have any direct questions, please don't hesitate to ask either green level clearance generally in the rules question, call a judge during an event. That's very important. If there's ever a disagreement, you have to just call a judge, or just if you're here or in the YouTube comments, just ask a question and we'll try and help you out. It's a great time to get into standard. Nobody knows what's going on. All the best cards from last cycle just rotated. It's such a great time to get into standard. Nobody has any idea what they're doing. And again, the card pool is so much closer to being only null signal games. It's really good. I didn't catch that. Can you explain all the timing again? Okay, hold on. So there's a certain thing called a paid ability, but actions, technically, standard doesn't have endurance. It's more fun. Click 1, install Saucy. Click 2, run ice, and immediately drip Q-Gun. Step 3, profit. You can do some wild stuff here. I didn't realize Hush is a Trojan. Yeah, very importantly, and there's going to be a lot of cards on JNet that don't say it, but any card that hosts on another card is technically a Trojan, as much as some of the card text doesn't say that. So just, you have to understand that every card that hosts on another card is a Trojan. That's so important. I don't know if it's in the release document for Null Signal, the new set, but like Botulus doesn't say Trojan on it. It is a Trojan. It is a Trojan. And if you get the re-release system gateway, it should have the Trojan text on it. But understanding that like this is a very reasonable card in Arissana, maybe not necessary, but reasonable. It's really good. Rejig, yeah, Rejig lets you return stuff to hand, and it's fine. I'm going to be sleeping, but enjoying the deluge of Discord messages. What cat? The timing structure? As an older player, the timing windows in Netrunner is quite confusing. Damn it. I thought we solved this. Approach, encounter, pass. Then there's a breach step sometimes. I've spent a lot of time studying it, so it's a lot easier when you put that in. Why did Baldur's Gate have to come out this week? You talking about that, and then next week the new like me game comes out, which like maybe no one's excited about but me. And then it's also the middle of the competitive season, and we have a nationals. Non-virus Trojan program. Is there a virus and Trojan program? Because it looks like really bad wording. Yeah, there are a lot of virus Trojans. Chisel, Botulus, any virus that gets hosted is a thing. In fact, are there some in the set? Is Monkey Wrench a virus? It sounds like no, it's not. Are there any virus Trojans in this set? I feel like there should be. Tranquilizer, that's another one. Yeah, that's a good one. The Botulus, Tranquilizer, Chisel are all Trojans. I don't know if there's more, but there's at least those three. That's a huge change. Yeah, everything is a Trojan. Anything that hosts on things are a Trojan. And this fact came up during the daily cast. The only card that technically could be hosted on another card that isn't a Trojan is Baba Yaga, which is rotated in the standard. And to get this to host on something, it's absolutely convoluted, but you can do it. But just understanding anything that hosts on a piece of ice, a runner card, a program is a Trojan. So Ika doesn't have the Trojan subtype from FFG, is a Trojan. That I think needs to be in the release article somewhere. It's like such an important thing to evaluate the card, especially if people have these cards at a tournament. Be right back. Loungemeister going to watch the entire video so I can understand some of what is going on. I can also say it's slower, but it is, we'll talk about it during the gameplay of Arissana because it comes up very naturally and there's a lot of decisions to be made understanding that timing structure. Won't errata does huge errata. So how's it going? Hey, Frisbee. Also, wait, they altered subtypes on existing cards. Was Botchus the big one for Trojans? I think that's the only, okay, firstly, null signal games. Look, I know that you can do it. I know we've opened Pandora's boxes and we've started adding subtypes to stuff. Can you please add observer to everything that it makes sense? Please, for only me and my laser pointer. I need you to put observer on everything that makes any amount of sense. Just put observer on so many more things. Thank you. But yes. Null Signal Games has retroactively added Trojan to everything. It's very easy to see, S:*Trojan. It's everything. It's literally everything. Original 2012 Netrunner core set, all the way back to like the original Parasite, again, 2012 core set. This is what Chisel used to look like, is technically a Null Signal Games Trojan. So very quickly, Trojan is a mechanical subtype. That means it hosts on something. Yeah. So excited it's not on the card, I guess. But there are currently, or there are 19 Trojans that exist in the card pool. In standard, it's probably like a dozen. 14, but this includes just straight up 14. There were 14 Trojans in standard. The NRDB rules box on the right shows that it is a Trojan, and there were errated back in the remaster announcement, which is probably why it wasn't mentioned on TIE release. No, I hear you, Jeff. Like, that's why I understood it. I just feel like there's a lot of people that are not that plugged in. Can the new explicitly Trojans be bounced by the card he showed? Yeah. Yeah, these cards are like legally Trojans. So if you think there's some difference between FFG Trojans and no. All cards that say Trojan on it can be bounced unless it's a virus. Even if it's an Ika from FFG, it's a Trojan. It works the whole way you think Trojans did. My big confusion of the day is trying to guess what happens when Corp reses a magnet with a hosted Sassi. Magnet wins. Oh shit, actually, Paul. I need help. I do need help. Judge, what happens when a magnet hits a Saucy? A Hush beats a magnet. Does a Saucy beat a magnet? Nobody observed observers. Andre's still traumatized from the eyeballs. You know it, Ada. Good game. Hosts on something or hosts on ice? Hosts on ice. But I think hosts on ice covers all use cases. But it's a program that hosts on ice. Bring back Kaisa, you cowards. John? Yes. I agree. How's it going? I do like Kaisa. I cowed out all Star the Trojans in my spoiler video. Yeah. Playing Arissana and Jinteki last night, and I had to keep reminding people that I could use my ability before the Corp reses. It's going to be a problem that people run into, which is hugely in the Arissana's favor. It's going to suck. You're going to be playing as Arissana, and someone's going to be like, oh, I'm going to res my ice. And then you're going to be like, sorry, I have priority here. And they're going to have to de-res their ice. And then you're going to know what their ice is and whether they want to res it or not. And then you'll be like this, I'm going to put a Sussy on it or a Cuban because you didn't want to res it. And like, that sucks. There's no way around that. So understanding as a core player, even if you have no interest in playing Arissana, that you have to always ask the Arissana player, before I res, do you want to do something in the paid ability window? That's just going to be a habit. It was really ugly when you played on JNet and you played for a while like as decks that played Masterwork, because this is one of the few triggers in the game that fires on the beginning of every run, which is a timing structure that very little cards interact with. And for a while, it sucked to play that on JNet, and now JNet just has a hold button. Like when you run, whether you have masterwork, it just locks the corporation out until you say you're done with everything. And it didn't used to be like that. And I'd argue that with Arissana, you might need to have that button there where the corp is literally not allowed to res until the runner says, I'm good, because there wasn't a lot of reason why that needed to exist. There were edge cases, but it wasn't that necessary. But Arissana is going to make that ugly. It's going to make it ugly. I agree we should have re-announced it. Pawn is a Trojan, so now you can have a Trojan horse. I think Saucy wins. Magnet wins on res, but what about de-res? Oh, shit. Yeah, de-res is interesting, too. Doesn't matter whose turn the res is on. It might. It honestly might. Res trigger happens before rules text on the card is active, maybe. I'm assuming they pay the cost to res it, so the Saucy would fire first. That's my guess. Rules gave me an arbitrary ruling. Magnet is too fast on res, but also so fast when it de-reses, the current ruling is Saucy triggers. Okay, that was a salad. I don't understand what it means, but it's probably exactly correct. Magnet is too fast on res. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to break down the ice until the different res speeds. Magnet is 3 costs, so you can res it pretty quickly. Wait, what does that mean? When you res this ice, choose one installed program. That's not an additional cost to res. I don't think Saucy would beat Magnet, but like I am terrible with rules. Oh, with the knight. The knight is a Trojan horse, yes. I think people are convincing rules that Saucy probably shouldn't trigger on de-res, but we'll see. What is the currently ruling, Jeff? GLC said Magnet wins against Saucy on res, but not unres. Read the rules, but didn't understand really why. I'll just trust they know the game better. You just trust whatever the judge tells you. Like, what are you going to do? I'm really bound on chat. Magnet causes cards to lose their card text, but not their subtypes. I don't like the ruling, but go check GLC. It's too involved. Trojan and Trojan Horse are both corp cards that already exist, by the way. Trojan is a TD campaign card, though. Oh, so you can search it. Shoutouts to the TD campaign cards for ruining my Gordian Blade streaks. Oh, sorry for spoilers, I guess, but don't play Terminal Directive. Yeah, why the hell are these cards in Gordian Blade? And why are they messing up my high scores? On res, the Magnet static ability applies before the checkpoint that triggered abilities such as Saucy happened. Okay. Can we go back to the turn order? Actually, that was simpler. Yeah, I know. Oh, well, hey, let's build a deck and have to worry about Saucy a lot because that's what we're building, I guess. Where's my deck builder? Oh, here it is. Static abilities beat trigger ones in Windows. That means way more sense. Didn't realize Magnet was static. I don't think that's how electromagnets work, though. If I knew more about physics, we could make a really clever joke there. But it's good to know your limitations. It's really important. All right. So the idea is that we're going to play a Rubicon Switch deck and just kind of be like an absolute shithead and then like Saucy everything up and down for days. So Rubicon Switch says you can spend X credits and a click to de-res a piece of ice res this turn. Oh, this is going to be so bad. We're going to play like 2 games with this and retire it. X is its printed res cost, uses ability only once per turn. So the idea is that Saucy will give us money on the res and on the de-res. So in theory, we have 6 free credits to use to just be really annoying with ice. And honestly, being really annoying with ice is kind of interesting when it comes to Arissana, because Arissana has a lot of cards that punish the corp being unable to res ice. You have Cubon. Anytime you run and the corp chooses or can res ice, you're basically spending a click for 2 credits, let alone maybe an axis. That's really interesting. And then there's the card that apparently I was pronouncing really wrong for a long time. So thank you, Ginevra. Pichasson. Pichasson is like absolutely free clicks and then returns to hand. That's kind of fun, I guess. So there's a lot of ways you can just absolutely punish someone that doesn't have money to res their ice. So yeah, we can do that. That's really cool. I tried this in Lowe's. It's not good, but it's fun. I'd argue, Thomas, how's it going? That this is probably better in Arissana because like the click, you get click compression. You definitely need the click compression to get the Saucies down because it is a really ugly click to install this for 1 to run to gain 2 credits and then still have to deal with the ice. So that's pretty hard. I'm never remembering how to pronounce this. Pichasson, so easy. We did it once. Static electricity, something electromagnetism. Magnet's ability is static, so it triggers before the checkpoint on res. Everyone does agree on that. But on de-res, rules currently state Saucy triggers on de-res. I don't think there's logic for it at the moment. What does JNet do? Because I don't think that's an authority, but that's like what we're signing up for tonight. This is better than cash, 6 whole credits? That's a lot of money. Hey, Crower. I think from what I've seen, the N at the end is just a nasal remnant. Pichasson. It's very difficult for English speakers. Secret? So we're 2 months away from Worlds in Barcelona. And so by the way, go get your tickets for Worlds if you're going to Worlds. There's only like 35 tickets left. Like that number shrinks every time we talk about it. So like if you want to go to Worlds in Barcelona, it's 35 slots left. So like get in there sooner than later. But I've just turned on Duolingo Spanish. I'm going to not tell my partner. And then in 2 months, we're going to show up to like a restaurant and I'm just going to order in fluent Spanish. And it's going to be a really fun surprise. I'm getting there. I've did just 20 minutes of work so far. There's only 30 tickets left? Yeah, Cat. For as slow as like Netrunner players are to like sign up for stuff, yeah, there's only 30 tickets left. It's going. So if you want to go. Good luck Spanish is fun. It's like my French is not great and like there's a lot of rules that are similar but different. So I'm hoping we can get there soon enough. All right, what's his name? What's the name of the guy who cares about de-res? Kirill McIntyre? He's probably a lot of influence. Holy shit, he's a lot of influence. Why? Ooh, that feels bad. JNet does it exactly wrong. Money on res, but not on de-res. If it's a nasal N remnant, that means it's like a Frenchist pronunciation. Pisséchon? Chon. Ah, comme cochon. You don't say the N. If you say a cochon, they know. They know that you are a phony. All right, let's put together the deck. Sure Gamble 3X. So we want to de-res stuff consistently. The de-res package is like kind of a mess. There's a bunch of cards of de-res. A lot of them are events. In fact, almost all of them are events. So we have Emergency Shutdown, which is okay. It can't be right, but I love it. This thing is okay. Not a lot of HQ pressure. It's just hard to put a bunch of these in your deck. So Rubicon Switch is that plus X, let's assume. Otherwise, we have Leave No Trace, but that's a really weird card. Also a lot of influence. Otherwise, in hardware, we just have the Capybara. We're not having any bypass, so I think we can just skip that one for now, but that's a cool card. It's a new card. Here we have the Tranquilizer, technically a Trojan, but I feel like putting two things on the same card is a mistake, and hopefully we're going to solve that by just having a lot of money somehow. Muertos, yeah, Muertos hasn't been around for a while, unfortunately. And then you have Bachlan Botchkin, who's also just, everything that says de-res on it is largely 3 influence besides the ones that aren't. So we're just going to have to keep that in mind. And we just want to be running aggressively. We want to make money on our runs, and then we want to go from there. So we're probably going to play Lily Pad. I don't know what the consensus is, whether you play 2 or 3 Lily Pad, because it's a really good card. I think it's really easy for this deck to actually make DZ, MZ into a pseudo, what's it called? Like a Rizeki of sorts. If you were trying to install 1 Saucy a turn, like why not have 2 of these? Maybe. I think maybe 1 is fine, but like it's pretty reasonable that if we want to install these once a turn, because I also don't still understand how many copies of Vernissage we're meant to have. It's a very flexible card. To some extent, we want to leave our Saucies out, but I'm pretty sure our play pattern is run, host the Saucy, they res, we break it cheaply with a Slap Vandal that I'm going to have to install at some instant speed somehow. Don't worry about it. Maybe we can play Paula's Cafe. We already have 1 unique connection, and then we can de-res it and return it to hand with the Vernissage. I'm not a fan of DZ. I think I am. They also speak Catalan in Barcelona. Diogen, how's it going? I think I missed your message above. I did see you say something. Excuse me. Please, shit, they don't have that on Duolingo. At least I will understand a bit of it. How you doing, by the way? German grammar is something holy. I like 2 Lily Pad and 1 2 DZ. That's what I'm thinking. I tried learning German. I find it harder to remember everything's gender. Yeah, but that's a thing in French. Everything's gendered. So like you kind of get used to it here, unfortunately. Okay. I'm playing 3 Vernissage just to get as soon as possible. I think it's important to get impossible as soon as possible. It's an interesting card too, because the credits on this means you can install sooner. And now we have to have the conversation about environmental testing. I think it's still bad. Has anyone proven that to be incorrect? I think it's still really bad. It's just so clumsy. I think the payoff on this being so absolutely comparable to Daily Cast is just like a bad spot to be. I think obviously you can install it cheaper with the Urban Art Vernissage, but you have to have the money up front. You have to have enough cheap things to install. It's still bad. I think you can definitely try and flex capacitor to speed it up, but like then you're installing a flex capacitor just to speed it up. I think it's still bad. UAV is not unique. Yeah, it's not unique, which is like really sick. I just don't think it's very likely to have the second one actually matter. I've been playing envy testing. I like it, but it's probably bad. Yeah, I just don't understand like the payoff. It's really cool to have cards like this that are, you know, like synergistic, that force econ packages. But this is the sort of card that you want to be able to afford early before you have to install 4 more things, as much as like Cubon and like Flux are very cheap to free. And then still it just pays off like the same way that Daily Casts largely would. And Daily Cast is probably a better card because it just allows you to pay for those installs slowly over time, which is what you expect to do anyways. Damn it. I found some builds that work for end testing, but I don't think it's this. Yeah. I found it pays off really fast in my versions, but I think not here. Interesting. He's holding his cards close to his chest. In MTL, Anglophone slur the articles so that no one knows if you're saying lo or la, and therefore you can never be wrong. Hashtag gendered nouns. I think that's a really big thing too. It's like there's so many words I'm not sure what the article is, so you just say it really quickly, which is like, yeah, eventually we solve that problem. It's cute if you're playing Flux and Poison Vial, but even then it's still too slow. Yeah, Flux is actually cool with Poison Vial. That's very true. My Q-Lube build blitzes this down in 2 turns. Oh yeah, Q-Loop is one of the cool reasons because you want to install in their turn to draw with Lily Pad. I really want to play the Q-Loop list, but it's going to be a much more consistent and goofy list. How should I catch up if the last time I played was Ash's Cycle? What cards are in rotation now? Lounge Master, great question. Firstly, on Reddit right now, Corrupt Drop Bear put out these 2 visuals that tell you what's in rotation. If you go to Null Signal Games' website, they have a place where you can go to supported formats and it'll tell you the ban list in standard and on top of that, the what's legal. Currently in standard, it's this, I think. No, this is startup. This is startup. If you want to play startup, the smaller format, it's just system gateway, system update, and then the last 2 cycles. So all of Borealis cycle and then the Liberation cycle, which is only 65 cards that just came out on Monday. If you're playing standard, there's not an image for standard. If you're playing standard, I don't think. It's actually also more approachable. It's all this stuff. Well, hold on. I can just show you here. It's on Null Signal Games' website. I'll show you here. It's easy. But you can go to sets. Can you just go to standard? Middle of the image is standard? Wait, what? Oh. It was there the whole time. Standard is a bigger card pool. So while startup is only these 4 things, standard is those 4 things plus a bunch of other stuff. So the whole Red Sand cycle and Katara cycle, those are entire FFG cycles. So that's another 240 cards. Then you have all the Ashes cycle. That's the first NSG cycle. And then you also have Rain and Reverie, which is a small deluxe box from FFG. And then the Magnum Opus cards, which are like 7, literally 7 or so cards that were printed as a reward after Magnum Opus, and Null Signal Games does print these for you. So that's it. We largely had a huge rotation where we lost the Flashpoint cycle in Data and Destiny. So if you're like a sort of player who's getting in late and only has a Null Signal Game stuff, it's way easier to play standard now than it ever has been. Obviously proxies are legal at every sort of level, but yeah, the only stuff that's FFG classically are now Red Sand, Katara, and Rain and Reverie. And it's only like 300 cards, out of which, like, out of the Red Sand cycle, half of it's unplayable. Katara is a bit better. Oh my god, I'm awake! Metropole Grid streaming. I'm definitely up too late. Swery, how's it going? Hopefully you're sleeping okay. Thank you for indulging my lazy request. Yeah, you knew you could have looked it up. No, I'm absolutely kidding. I like those sort of questions. I like to show how accessible this thing can be, but also if you go to player supported formats, it'll give you all the information here. There's a bunch of things. There's also a format, mind you, and shout out to the Neo people. I'm not a Neo person. I haven't played Neo, but Neo is a format that a lot of folks are enjoying right now, especially people who probably got into the game recently, which is a format that is basically all the Null Signal Games products, period. Just because there's a lot of people that don't want to mess around with the FFG stuff. Honestly, I think standard is a really fun thing to play with. Worlds is in standard, Continentals is in standard. Like, it's the most popular Netrunner format. But the Neo folks is also a thing that you can play in, and they have a thing on screen level clearance. I think they're trying to like get it up on JNet as an official supported format, and I think part of that, from what I read recently, is that a lot of Neo folks are like publishing deck lists, so there's a bit more visibility on the format. I think Neo also has a ban list, which I think is attractive because startup has some like power problems. Okay, is Magnum Opus basically a bunch of deluxe reprints? So at the final Worlds, after FFG lost the Netrunner license, there was like 6 or 7 cards that were designed by champions of Worlds and other big continental tournaments that had already designed cards, but those cards were generally meant to be injected in later sets that would never release. So they just said, here's like 7 cards from the World Champions, you can just go have it. So it's a really weird set. Null Signal Games released their own version of it with their own art, but it's like literally, it's called Magnum Opus reprint. It's 6 cards. Some of them are very powerful cards, but also a lot of these are banned. So it's only 6 cards, and to show you them, Labor Rights, powerful card. Crowdfunding, banned in standard. Embolus, nobody plays. Slot Machine, banned in standard. Border Control, incredibly powerful. Timely public release, largely not played in standard. Maybe you want to play in a Teo, but I doubt it. So like, there are very good cards here. In fact, almost all of them are bangers, besides the ones that aren't. But then 2 of them are banned for being too powerful. But they're really cool designs too. But yeah, it's a really weird set. It's just 6 cards. You can buy it from Null Signal Games. I'm still wired from my own stream. Won't be sleeping for a while. Hey, Swery, what are you streaming? How much do you think one could sell a complete FFG Netrunner collection for? I have no idea. I've never looked into that market. I don't know. I think to some extent there's like a market for people who want the physical FFG cards, but the fact that Null Signal Game says you can make your own alternate, your own proxies has in a lot of ways cratered that market. And I'm like super stoked that you can, that market kind of probably sucks to some extent. Maybe I'd be singing a different tune if I wanted to sell my cards, but like, yeah, no, the game needs to be as accessible as possible, whether rotation has to be faster. Proxies are illegal. Go to your printer, get some cards printed, go to an event. At Worlds, they would help you print proxies. Like, yeah, it's nice to have the physical products for sure. It's easier, but yeah, go proxies, go. My Atea skateboard decks loves TPR. Yeah, it's a cool Atea card. Embliss is part of the reason Gold Farmer is banned though. I think if Embliss existed, Gold Farmer would still be banned, but I think they probably showed up in the same deck, but I don't think it was a big correlation. I think something else would have shown up. I wanted to say something, but I forget what. Yeah, I don't know. I've been hearing this rhetoric on streams. Like people are upset that there's like alt arts they don't know the art of. And like, yeah, I get that it kind of sucks. Like, I feel like this is a conversation that a lot of people feel strongly about. Like, oh, I'm watching the stream. And for someone who streams and casts and stuff, like, yeah, it's a bit ugly that you watch a stream and you don't know what that card is. And hopefully the casters will tell you what it is. They have to do extra legwork. But if there's any negative sentiment for people showing up to top tables because they have alt arts or proxies and they feel bad about that and they feel pressured to not show up on stream because they're going to upset the streaming audience, that's really bad. I think it's super important that if there's any negative alt art sentiment, like, I don't know. I don't think that needs to be expressed during a stream because then a lot of people feel uncomfortable playing the game when they don't have the real thing. So I don't know. It's something that kind of fires me up when it's just like, all these alt arts on stream. It's like, you have to let it happen or no one's going to play the damn game. Like, I don't know. Weird. Every time I see people at work at play MTG, I just think I play a game that wants people to play, not pay to win. Yeah. I'm a trans DJ. Oh, cool. I started streaming during lockdown. It was lots of fun, so I kept it up. Oh, that's super cool. I got to check that out. Man, live music streams, I don't mess with them enough, but like anytime that they're recommended to me or I stumble onto them, I like always spend way more time watching than I thought I would. They're like really, really compelling. Anyways, back to the terrible deck we're building for some reason. Okay, let's get some other stuff in here. We need some card draw because we need to install stuff from hands. I think we're going to play a couple copies of the good old run R&D, draw a bunch of them. The Sid 7 card. What's it called? Joyride? I wonder how abrasive my take on alt arts is. What's our breaker suite? That's always an interesting thing. What our actual breaker suite is, because I definitely do like a slap bundle. I think slap bundle is really good. I think it's really nice so we can be early aggressive. Again, if we're saucing out our stuff with Arissana, this is not something we can clicklessly install, but I think it's interesting that we can get it down. What are your thoughts on losing the mini faction? Sorry if it wasn't answered. How's it going, Invader? As a casual play group that also likes to use the current standard rules, it's conflicting. I think we just rotate them. It's been 7 good years, right? The mini factions have just rotated out. It's a bummer. They were very flavorful. They were adored by the community. Obviously, that sucks. There's no way around it. There's still some legal cards for the mini factions, which is a bit strange and confusing maybe for new players. I wish the mini factions didn't rotate, but I think, again, if you ask me, largely you gotta rotate faster for people to play the game. Imagine if this game was only Null Signal Games cards. Like obviously standard wouldn't be as rich and there wouldn't be as many possibilities. Null Signal Games only puts out so many cards, but I think rotation needs to be faster, and I think that'd be great. I'd love to see this space explored by the mini factions sooner or other stuff. Alternates are a big part of this community. Much love to our artist colony because they made some bangers for real. Adored, yeah, that's a word. Added a lot of fun to play group. Yeah, absolutely adored cards. So it sucks that they have to go, but like, I don't know. We've all lost great cards. Rotation is often sad for nostalgic reasons and sometimes almost always great for game health. Yes, it is. Again, the fact that we're playing with hard-hitting news and the paperclip for literally 7 years is messed up. 7 years of having to deal with hard-hitting news. Like, I don't know. There's like no other card game where rotation is that long. Pray to spaghetti fire. All right. Back on track. We've derailed a couple times. What is our real breaker suite? So Slab Vandal and Saucy. If we have Saucy on a piece of ice, there's a chance we can consider using the Umbrella. I haven't played with the Umbrella yet, so I think we can try out the Umbrella. The Umbrella to me feels like 2 or 3 steps too far of things we have to do, but we're going to try it. We're going to try the Umbrella. We also have the Cuban, which is quite nice as a way to get down. Again, we have too many Trojans. That's going to be a problem with the deck. Unless we can clicklessly install a bunch of them, we're in a bad spot. But I think Cuban is a natural fit for the deck if we want to de-res and create pressure. It's also interesting how every FFG game dies as rotation is happening. Yeah, but maybe that's an argument that rotation isn't fast enough. Oh, simulchip. Yeah. We definitely will be playing multiple simulchip. Maybe 3. Let's just start with 2 for now. Simulchip is yeah, it's good enough. You really rotate any faster without producing new cards faster? That put a lot of pressure on NS. Palangi? Palangi only makes a lot of sense, I think. It's good with 2 simul chips, but then we have to play, like, I think we saw Veronica's playing Cleaver when we played against Veronica on Tuesday, and this is a really nice thing to not sweat the small stuff, and then you can always, like, you know, Palangi in a panic to Cleaver through some of the other stuff. So, who knows? You really rotate any... I just read that, excuse me. I won't miss HHN even if it's the only alt art I ever made myself. Oh, that's a bummer too when you have to rotate like the cool alt arts that you've made or you've like won or purchased or whatever. Like, yeah, it's rough. You can keep them around. They're art. What else do we want? So far we have no way to deal with sentries. Let me tell you, I don't like this one. I don't know. I don't think this one's good. I just feel like the numbers on this are not good enough to compare to anything that is like not a Trojan, let alone is a Trojan. So we'll see. Need SMC. Yeah, SMC is really good with Arissana anyways. We'll be playing 3 SMC. So we're going to do that. We can play probably 3 overclock because we want to. That's a really big problem, I think, with Arissana is we need to come up with reasons of why we are running. Like, why are we running? Because we need to get a value from every single run a turn. Like, we can't really play Penny Shaver, but like Bankroll, like these sort of things are really funny. Whether it's just a leech that we're running central servers to get leech tokens, but leech tokens don't really work with our breaker suite that much because currently all our breaker suite is largely fixed strength. I guess it kind of works with Cleaver. Yeah, the thing is, like, this is what I don't understand about Mural. It's Mural is a sentry breaker that gets like kind of reasonable once you've hit threat 4. Kind of reasonable once you hit threat 4. But do you know what also is like kind of reasonable when you hit threat 4? Echelon. Echelon's also basically a threat card. It's a card that scales up linearly with the time in the game. So like, I don't even know if it's better than Echelon. I don't know if it's better than Ika. It's really hard. What's the win con? Oh shit. I think the natural win con for an Urban Art Vernissage deck, well, firstly, if we're de-rezzing, we can do Conduit. I think that'd be very powerful. I think with Vernissage, like you can pretty easily also play, as much as it might be slow, you could also play the Twinning because it works really well with Twinning. Is Magnet still legal? It is very legal, Magnet. Magnet is legal, Magnet. Wait, is Magic still legal? Is Street Magic still legal? I read your name and thought you asked about Magic. No, Street Magic is not legal. It hasn't been for a long time. It's a Mumbet card, I'm pretty sure. 1 credit plus 2 strength on Mural is quite good. Yeah, but then like you have to host this on somewhere. It only works on that server. So like you are ending up breaking. So like Drafter gets fired in the middle of the sentry test always. So you break Drafter for 3 credits after installing a 3-cost killer. That's like okay. But then you also have to install a 3-cost killer. And so like that is going to be your Arissana trigger for that run. And that's not great, let alone for that turn. Yeah, I don't know. 1 influence is Hush Time. Yeah, it is definitely Hush Time. I think we don't have a good enough reason to be running constantly, though. We also don't have enough card draw. We definitely don't have enough card draw. So, like, probably playing some amount of Nukas, and now we're at 47 cards. So maybe we cut a Palangi, and we simul chip back. Maybe we drop a DZ. Again, I think the DZs are probably pretty neat. Should put in the Click Trojan too, Pikachu. Wait, I learned this one. Pichasson? Pichasson? I think it's fine. I think we have too many Trojans to install. That's going to be really difficult. Yeah, Dirty Laundry is the sort of thing. Like anything that gives us value from running is really important. Like if we could play a Dream Net for not 3 credits, we'd probably play it. We just need ways to get value from making successful runs. So yeah, we can like maybe do that. We can, I don't know. Ika's better than Living Mural virtually every time if you want to have a killer. The corp can trash at will. Yeah, it's weird when you put it like that. We also don't have a killer yet. We'll just put a Living Mural just so we learn how we don't like it. I think it's important to face your demons. And then we're still 48 cards. Pichasso has really impressed me. I think it is good. I think it's really good in like deep dive decks. I think it's fine with Conduit if they can't res. Like it kind of competes for the Cubon slot, but we'll see. Vernissage probably serves a lot of the same role as DZMZ. Oh, you're honestly right. Yeah. And then again, I don't know whether we should be playing 3 Vernissages, whether we be playing 2. Maybe the cast doesn't matter. The deck is very orthogonal to what I've been trying. By orthogonal, you mean it's not going to be very good. Like, I think we also might need upfront money, like telework, because Rubicon is kind of expensive, but maybe not too expensive. So here, we could keep this hand pretty easily. We can do draw, sure gamble, lily pad, SMC to draw. But we'd probably actually run to get the SMC down clicklessly, hopefully in Ice Fires, put down a daily cast, start drawing from here. We have a Saucy, we're good to go. Definitely 3 Vernissage, as much as probably you'll want them a Saucy in hand at all times. The threat of being able to de-res expensive ice will probably be as effective as the actual de-resing, if not more. I feel like this could be kind of interesting. I do think in function, like that's the thing I think with Arissana is like Arissana to me, I think a lot of people are going to swing into this and then put too many Trojans in their deck. And their deck is going to be like I have 14 Trojans, and then you realize you only have one on tempo install a turn, and then you're stuck with all these bad Kaisa you can't do anything with. And so I'm pretty sure we're going to see normalized out, like maybe Arissana decks that are like kind of more like regular Shaper with a cool econ engine, and then you only have to reinstall the same 2 to 3 Trojans over and over again with your ability in Vernissage. Like, again, I'm worried about putting too many things in here. Need Bones of Parisha? Yeah, I think so. Or we can also just say we're going to be bad at assets and understand that, which is generally how we test decks, and then we don't get salty when we lose to assets. We get salty still. But yeah, I think Miss Bones is like probably a very good thing. It's really ugly too. Is like we're swinging into de-rezzing ice, which is like the exact opposite win condition against a deck that's doing assets. Like it's probably the worst thing. Wish Lilypad was like Knob or Red with extra mem for Trojans. 2 MU is pretty generous on Lilypad. Like that's pretty good. Thought I need DZ for the MU, but honestly Lilypad was enough. Yeah, maybe it will be. Maybe it will be. I think we're going to try this, though. I think we just want to cut 2 cards and see how bad it is. Do we need the Pelongi? No, we're a de-res deck. We don't need the Pelongi. Cleaver, Mural, Vandal, 2, let's say. Umbrella, feel bad about that. Conduit, Hush, Cuba and Sussy, SMC 3X. This seems fine. I think we really are incentivized to go down a couple more cards because we need to find our Rubicons immediately. Because we can't actually pressure early until we get a Rubicon, because then they can res their ice. That's bad. No Pelongi, but what if Egret? Egret is just worse Pelongi. Egret is just worse Pelongi. Pelongi can be purged, but you have ability when to use Pelongi. Obviously, it doesn't work with Arissana, but I don't think that's a problem. Maybe it's not strictly worse. Okay, it's not strictly worse, but like, it's not that much better. Let's try this. De-res, Joyride, Jet Set, Radio. No, we're not playing the Rollerblades. You might need more simul chips if the corp trashes the ice with the Merle, and you might get locked out for a few turns. Yeah. Ideally we de-res the ice. Like I'm hoping if the de-res package comes together, which like we're shooting the moon on that one, that we might not be able to get locked out as easily. But yeah, there's some problems. Also, like if you de-res ice and it has the mural on it, can they just trash the ice at low cost? Yeah. So we're gonna have to face that ugliness sooner than later as well. Vernissage's power over something like Aesop's is that you don't have to draw your programs over and over. Yeah. Yeah. And it's flexible. It's for install anything. It's not real credits, but like daily cast becomes a better card. Like all that stuff is really nice. We still have to call it casual, right? That's not changed. Jet Set, Radio, Rubicon, Jet Set, Rubicon, Radio. Let's call it that. Arissana Rocha Nahu. All right. Now let's play Personal Evolution. How does it keep happening? I clicked on something. If it's not moving, it's not moving. Casual till at least next week. This deck really struggles with Op, right? Yeah, I think Op is really good into Arissana. You just have so many ways to destroy your stuff on like a sense that makes sense. Admittedly, though, if we do de-res some stuff, like maybe they can't use their ability. But yeah, it's probably not a good matchup. Cash. I did casual, right? Yeah. Be surprised if it doesn't enforce standard for APAC. Yeah, that's gonna be really ugly if it doesn't enforce standard for APAC. You're gonna see a lot of people like try and like have to redo their tables, stuff like that. Hush is really nice against border control as Optech. Yeah, Hush is really nice against border control. Hush is also if you you hard call an envelopment, that's also kind of neat. You can hush anvils. That's pretty reasonable. I think anvil is actually pretty good right now. You can hush Afshars. I think hush is just like a straight up good card. Oh, trying to get it updated tonight. Yo, sick, Jeff. Yeah, hush is good. Like I think there's some chance that Arissana can play 2 hushes. Like, right? Like it's just so good. The problem is that like if you install the hush at instant speed, you're not installing anything else with Arissana. But like I think you're gonna have to install cards from hand with Arissana anyways. Like not on. Okay. Reality Plus is a bit of a nightmare. There's a lot of tags. We don't have a lot of tag tech. In fact, nobody does. So like, I don't know what you're seeing. If you're seeing the Think Tank Oracles, you're definitely going to see Beholds, Jaguar Rundies, C-Play. I don't know if you're going to see the other, the what's it called? The Jinteki one. I don't know the name of it. Thanks, you too. But yeah, this can be really tricky. The good thing though is like we can interact early, and we do, as long as we don't trash something. If we steal an agenda, we can get, and like they like R plus for free. They give you 2 tags for free with an Oppo research. Enjoy that. And we have a resource engine. Like we can't just float tags. Again, I do think a lot of people think R plus is absolutely cracked in the new meta. That's an ugly start though. But we don't want to trash it because we get oppoed. Faunatria, thank you. That's it, Croy. I wonder if there's Joyride respect. There probably is Joyride respect. Okay, so as soon as turn 1, enjoy playing lat, you face check into a Jaguar undo and you take a core damage. Seems cool. Oh, actually, that's a start, huh? That's a start. So what's the play here? I think we need to get Lily Pad down. I think we just get money up. They're not doing anything. We have 17 credits on turn 1. That's the best we can ask for. I think it's on the NRDB side. JNet just pulls the list of active rotation from its download of images, sets rotation metadata from NRDB. Oh, I didn't know that. I'm still not sure like who owns what when it comes to JNet and NRDB. Okay. No idea what that is. I'm assuming it's an Amaze Amusements. We're just going to run Centrals. And we have a Slap Vandal. Slap Vandal does deal with the Jaguar pretty well. I think we might as well install the DZ. We could consider Dirty Laundering HQ. The worst case is, I guess, like a funhouse we don't want to deal with. I don't think we need to do it. But we're good to go. So here, technically, here's the first time we can res. So you see, they did not wait for us. They did not wait for us. But that is going to be really awkward on JNet because that is the exact window where we're allowed to install a Saucy before they res. Jag is my favorite art of the set. Yo, Cat, it's a really good one. Well done. But yeah, that's the problem. In theory, if we have priority there and nobody waits for you, like I feel in JNet, they have to add that button. So we Slap Vandal this. We draw a card. Yeah, it sucks. That's going to be really hard to do. Clarify, I drew to clarify, yeah. Just link the 1 hour 40 video, no problem. Oppo research, you don't want to steal something. We have to remove a tag. They could trash that. Hey, Pat, took a sick halfway, watched the new Strange New Worlds, and now I'm reborn a fresh human. I don't know what that is, man. Hopefully you're feeling better. I feel like the strongest way to deal with R plus is have a lot of money. It does help. I know I've just like brute forced my way through Oppos. I wonder if this is the fast advance combo type decks. Well, you don't want to de-res a ping anyways. No, we don't, but we could have got 2 credits. Okay, let's draw. I'm going to do it. Wait, hold on. We can't break the ice. Let's not do that. Actually, no, we can install the SMC to get nothing. That's not good. But like in theory, we can dirty laundry archives to install the SMC to draw a card. It eats our DZ, but then we can crack the SMC immediately. That's not particularly stunning. We need a vernissage here. We need a vernissage here. Oh, that sucks. So we lose value on both of these. We could face check. We just need to return this to hand. Like, damn. 100% just install the Saucy in game 3. Yeah, exactly. Like, that sucks. Cortex Locks would be terrible here. We Slap Vandal it. We're fine. We're safe. NSG run NRDB, Cobra and Stimhack. JNet and ABR still community run. Okay, cool. JNet is still community run. Good to know. Attitude adjustment shuffles just a Bologna back. Okay. Just do it while breaking the previous ice unless it's a run start. I hit indicate action at run start. That would be my workaround for now. Yeah. You can also just install programs with a click. Yeah, actually installing that for a click was smarter. It would have drawn as a card. I don't know why we drew. Yeah, that's very confusing. I wonder if this is like 7-point combo. We also can just like dirty laundry HQ. That seems reasonable. Get a Saucy up on here. We're going to hit a Behold. They've been carving their hand pretty heavily. Oh, well, one in Rome. Okay. Saucy. Host. Draw. Breach. Market. Oh, they want to tag us. Why is this here? Diesel. Vernissage. Money. Okay, cool. Is this standard? It's standard, Pat. So now they have the ability to trash our beautiful little bird. With a Spin Doctor on the table, maybe not a huge cost. They also probably want to throw out like that 3-1 that gives us a tag, just to like hit us with the Oppo research. Like I think that's the best thing of the 3-1 is that it just turns on Oppo research, and not like threat 3 turns on, but just like turns on. That's the end of the run trigger to trash installed non-programs. So we probably want to return the Slap Vandal to hand. Daily. Slap. Okay. Let's draw once. So we can install an SMC and overclock R&D for a conduit and try and win. The thing is, like, their deck is just full of B holds. Like, I don't know how you generate enough accesses. I also don't know what the hell this is. I wonder if there's like a B1001 on top of like 7 kinds of different poison. So we'll run R&D here. All right. So we got a credit on the funhouse. So we, in theory, can go through the funhouse for a tag or slap vandal. We also can now know that we can set SMC for a hush. But here they spend 5, we gain 3. So we're going to end the run there. That seems good enough for us. We haven't used our Arissana yet, so we can run HQ. So in theory, we could install an SMC. We definitely want to install something once a turn. Unfortunately, we probably want to install the slap vandal first because we'll get more value. So we can run HQ here probably, and then we can use Arissana to install a slap vandal to draw a free card. Oh, we found it. Wait, what? What happened? Did we spend a click on that? No. That was weird. So unfortunately, we don't have the click to use the Rubicon switch. De-rezzing the funhouse would be good, but we have to do it this turn. So like we kind of messed up. We can maybe de-res the EULA over and over again. That would be a good time to be. And we have to understand too, we can use the UAV to install stuff cheaper, which is nice. This is not a Trojan. This does break funhouse for 2, which is kind of cute. So we'll just install an SMC. We can always crack it on their turn. Yeah, I think we might have double clicked it. I think you're right. But I don't think they're going to trash the funhouse. They might trash the ping. But this is where, like, I don't think we're generating a lot of value from running, where like the prognostic as type list would. Like every run we could like look at the top 2, install stuff with Cheswa. Like that's the issue. It's like we need a way to draw a card when we make a successful run. We need something. Because right now we're getting single accesses, and like that's not going to win us this matchup. As much as multi-access will probably kill us at some point. If you haven't used Arissana yet, you can get a click back at instant speed in an emergency. Wait, how? That's probably the EULA. Take clicks, daily cast, return that. How do you get clicks back? What? With Pichasao? We don't have Pichasao in the deck, which maybe we should. Pichason, excuse me. So here we run, we can go get the hush out, and then we can go through this. So I think we just overclock R&D and start getting some accesses. We know there's Bologna's in there, that'll turn on threat. So here we can go, continue to counter ice. We can do this, install a program. We can use, not the Vernissage credits, the overclock credits. We can get a hush. We can host it on here. Then we want to do this on approach so we don't hit the encounter step. We'll draw a card. Then we'll continue to encounter. Then that shouldn't happen. Why does that happen? Oh, it's asking me to take a tag. Not sure if it should be. Yeah, but then you'll get 2. Hush may not be implemented still. Oh, bummer. Yeah, I might do slash disable. That's a good idea. The opponent needs to type slash disable card and just click the funhouse. Okay. Okay. I think slash disable and then clicking the card fixes it. It might be slash disable card. Never implemented. Okay, so now we have to use Arissana. So we can use a slap vandal, which we install on here. 3 cards on a single card seems like a mistake. We should actually use the Vernissage because we should have used the Vernissage to install the hush because it was free. Because we can use these credits to trash things. We can't use these credits to like interact with Bologna and stuff like that. These we can. And so then we'll break. And then we'll hit, what's it called? The one that gives us 2 tags, a behold. It's an overseer matrix. Okay, so they're building some sort of prison. If we trash this, we turn on Oppo. I don't think we're going to trash this. Okay. We put too many cards on this one ice. It's probably going down. That's not good for us. If we put down another Urban Art Vernissage, it's definitely going down. But I feel like our de-res combo, we were too aggressive sooner. We probably should have just set up. Didn't you Arissana the hush? No, we SMC'd the hush. Cool. Yeah, we SMC'd the hush with the overclock credits. We Arissana'd the slap. All right, so they have an overseer in their hand. I wonder what they're setting up. Like, I'm pretty sure they're setting up a B1001 server. Funhouse stands? Oh, you can urban arts install anything? Yes, this is install anything. It's really good to know. It's not for anything, but for any installation. So really, really sick. And so now we return the Saucy and we return the, what's it called? The Slap Vandal. Okay, so I'm assuming one of these is a Funhouse and then the other one is an Endless Eula. Let's force them to res the Endless Eula for 6. So start a turn, take clicks, we'll return the Vernissage, we'll return a little bird, and we'll return a little Slap Vandal. What is a Slap Vandal? Installations are a type of art? You're damn right they are. That's so cool. Okay, so we're gonna... Getting the Hush in hand is actually really flexible here. So we're gonna install the Saucy. Yeah, why not? Okay, Conduit, that's really good. We can close the game through that. And now we're gonna run. We have 5 credits for installations. The DZ ate that. Okay, this is a ping. You hate to see it. Continued encounter. So we can... I think we're going to get B1001. I'd rather get B1001 because that clears the tag for us. So we'll install here the Slap Vandal on the ping. We can SMC for a cleaver at some point, which would be kind of important. We want to spread these out, I think. So I'm pretty sure we're going to see a Funhouse here. But we could have prepared for this a bit better with an SMC. Installing attractions in the Funhouse. So we approach. In theory, we have priority here, but we've used our thing. Yeah, it is a Funhouse. So I don't think we go through this one. I think we end the run. Oh, man, we're going to float a tag, though. Ugh. Because we can install the Rubicon switch, and then we can de-res the art card. I think we have to. I think we're going to go float a tag here. They have a Market Forces, but what else are they going to do? Trash the both Vernissages? Unfortunately, the Saucy's on the wrong card. Good luck getting money. We float 1 tag, okay? Some risks here. Predicted planogram would be bad. Market Forces is lose 3, they gain 3. They have a lot of choices here. Again, I think we are a bit strapped on clicks. I wonder if we want the 2 core damage in this deck. I don't think we do. Just to get another click. Because that's the problem, is we ran this too soon. We have no way of de-resing it, but we need to be able to de-res stuff. Regolith, okay. Unfortunately, we have to trash that to turn on Oppo, otherwise they're going to have unlimited money. Luckily, we can do that. We can deal with Oppo pretty easily. Take clicks. So we're going to cast Finis, Vernissage, return, Vernissage, return. Okay, so Oppo is only going to be 2 tags here. We have to take that down. I think we have to clear the tag here. Sounds like there's fireworks outside, but I'm pretty sure the thunder is just going hard. Hey, Graham, love this game. So happy to see someone still playing. There's a lot of people still playing it, Graham. How's it going, though? Hopefully you're doing well. I think we need a cleaver. This installs and draws a card. It eats our DZ, but I don't think we have problems with the installations. Okay, and now we have too many cards here. I think we can just click for credit. We can also just install something. Like we can use the SMC, pay 2 to go get a cleaver down. That seems reasonable. We need to keep our money up this turn, though. I think we're short on clicks. Q-loop is a better answer to than the core damage. Yeah, I think we need some more click compression because there's just too many things to do. But we're now like largely set up. Like we just camp the remote server. And if they hit us here, they pay 2 and we have to clear 2 tags. Like we'll be fine. We're not dripping anything now, but like we have to force their res de-res shit. And that's the problem is because we ran central servers. Like the idea is that we would never allow them to res this. Okay, 2 advancements Oppo. That's fine. Oh, just 2 advancements. Neat. Okay, we run that. We turn on Bologna, and then we have to deal with the Oppo. Like, that's the downside. I think we're not too upset if they score out a Bologna. It's Fireworks is right next to them. It's smart. How's it going, Hugo? So, like, in theory, we can get another Saucy on there. We can also get a Hush on there. I think we'd rather just let them de-res and then bounce. So I think we're going to go in. Oh, but we have to install now. I think we're going to use our SMC to get a cleaver so that we don't have to put our Slap Vandal. So we'll get a cleaver down for 2 credits. That seems good. Draw a card. Okay. Ooh, Joyride. That's a lot of cards. Okay. We need some sit back money here. So we just run server 3. If we take a Bologna down, we're on 6 credits and then land us with 4 tags. The Hush turns out the B1001. Yeah, I'm not worried about the B1000. I think we can deal with it. We'd have to pre-install the Hush though. But I think we're okay with them scoring on Bologna here. I just want them to res, and then I want to bounce, and I want to de-res. Because if we res, we put the second saucy on it. I think we're okay. Like, in theory, if they don't res, that's when we're scared. But at least if it's a Bologna, we don't have to steal it. Do we double saucy? We will, but we'll do it at instant speed. Because in theory, we have priority here on the approach. So this is where we have to commit to it. Yeah. Bunch of birds. What could be if it's not a Bologna? Anything dangerous? I don't think anything dangerous. But here they just probably don't res. Like, I think we went a bit too hard. This is where we'd rather have a cube on. Because the cube on fork here is good. So if it's a Bologna, we steal it. We go down to 5. They oppo us for a lot of money. I think we just steal this and we click for credits. I think we just click for credits. We're going to get oppoed once. And we can't clear the oppo tags really easily. That sucks. You used to click for that rather than the ID? Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Oh, hey. I think I installed that with a click and not my ability. That's a good catch. We'll just do that. I'll just take a credit. Yeah, I just clicked it from hand. I didn't actually click my ability. Yeah, I think we're one saucy too deep on this. But this is where, like, installing anything that gives us money is good. Like, we only have another daily cast in the deck. I'd love to have a daily cast going on in the background because we're so click intensive. But this is where we need to get a cube on here because if they're not going to res, we're going to profit. They're in a really, like, catch-22 until they destroy this ice, and then we're in a really ugly spot. But yeah, they probably have a B1001 here. So we're going to see that, Regolith, and then we're going to see a Oppo. Yeah, so this only cost them 5 credits to give us 4 tags. It's, like, kind of messed up. And we have to clear all the tags. We just have to clear all the tags. So, like, yeah. R plus Oppo. Yeah, that sucks. I don't think we should have taken the Bologna. I think we should have let them have it. The problem is, like, I think here, like, we messed up fundamentally by allowing them to res ice. Because we only win if they're never able to res the funhouse. And then we just hammer R&D. But here, like, we do nothing. Like, we have to force them to res, and, like, I just don't know what server we can force them to res on. At least, like, they've played 1 Oppo so far, but they have 2 more in a Spin Doctor, so, like, that's going to be ugly. We'll take this one back. We just need to draw a card that gives us credits. What else can we get down? Like, we can just build board state. We can get a conduit down for free. I mean, Hushlet Slap on the RDI, so all but blanks it. Yeah, it all but blanks it. It's cool that all this stuff is absolutely free. Absolutely free. Not that we want to do much with it. But that vertissage does feel really cool. That, like, you do your art just to pay for your, you know, your not day job. Cool. I just don't know how we close the game from here. I think putting down conduit obviously gives them time to react to it. It's just like they can't probably afford to. Oh, they put another piece of ice on there. All right, well, let's play a little game. Okay, so we install 1 saucy on there, and then we fly. We fly. We should probably pre-install the Hush. Oh no, it's nice to have the Hush in hand, but I don't think, like, what can they res to give us another tag? Ping, probably. A toll booth is fine. As much as we can't afford to res a toll booth. Can Lou get a kitchen for all his viruses? Yeah? It's the carnivore is his kitchen, right? Thinking. Like, we have to force him to res. The problem is, like, accessing and stealing agendas will be really quite bad for us. I just don't know what the rest of their agenda suite is. We've seen no information. Okay. Most of our, like, straight econ was top loaded. We have 1 more creative, 1 more dirty laundry, no more sure gambles. Sorry, we have 2 more creatives. Yeah, 1 more daily casts, 1 overclock. So we still have a fair bit of money if we draw 3. The problem is that we're drawing too much. So understanding the ordering that we have to do here. If we put a saucy first, that's what we want to do. And then we can get another saucy in on it. That's okay. You need Cubon to force reses. Exactly, yeah. And I think our deck, I forget how many Cubons we have. I don't think we have that many. We have 2. Okay, wait, hold on. Let's get a Cubon. Oh, we missed. But we drew bad cards, though. That's good. We don't want to draw those. But yeah, we definitely need a Cubon. That's, like, the magic that we're missing. Is, like, we could get a Cubon in that. Because I don't think we force a res here, unless we have a Cubon. I swear there's Cubons in the list. Well, we might as well install stuff. It allows us to draw. We have so many dead cards in our hand. All right. That'll get us a coupon for more credits than anything else. 1, 2, 3. What else do we not need? I think the diesel is better than this. Oh, we have to keep going? You could SMC for coupon, yeah, but it's way too expensive. Because then we can't even threaten to break, let alone de-res. Like, we always need to have money to de-res. I think the SMC install was pretty bad. I think we should have just clicked for credit. So we need to discard one more. It won't be the Hush, it won't be the Saucy, it won't be our breakers, I don't think. So maybe the second Vandal. Oh, shit. Oh, we have to discard 6 cards? Hold on. Yeah, one more. Ooh, that's really ugly. I don't know if we're going to use the Umbrella. We have Simul Chips, though. We'll be fine. Not that we're paying money for stuff. Okay, first Spin Doctor down. So server 3 is probably a Spin Doctor. They bid Oppo one unseen, yeah. Okay, so it's a Spin Doctor. They just want us to get Oppo'd again. They only have 17 cards more. It's 3:30 a.m. and I have queer prom tomorrow. Time to try and force myself to sleep. Glad I could catch you stream for a little bit. Hey, enjoy prom. That's really fun. I don't know exactly what that is, but glad you could drop in. It's really nice to see you. They did another one for Regolith and Hedge Fund. So I think he's going to go install Advance here. That's fine. We're already at threat 3. I'm pretty sure, yeah, this is a B1001 deck. Install Advance is scarier. Quick hello there. Firewalkers, how's it going? Huh. We need the Cubone so bad. Take care, you beautiful hackers. Always me running. Hey, cheers. Yeah, we need the Cubones really bad. We can pay 2 credits to get this SMC. That's pretty bad. They only single advanced. The problem is, like, if we're probably going to get Oppo'd, right? Like, we always need to end our turn with 8 credits because we're likely going to get Oppo'd. I think at this point, we're also risking Public Trail to some extent, as much as we haven't seen their influence spread. So if we return this to hand, it doesn't cost us that much. Cubone is so good. I know, we're only on 2. And so far we've been aggressive, but we haven't been generating credits. Like, even Cubone on this ice, and we can just run and jack out. Like, 2 Cubones, they're in a really ugly spot. Like, that's our economy engine. We just don't have it yet. Okay, let's go. All right, we have a Cubone. So we're going to hard install a Saucy. We're going to install a Cubone at instant speed. They're not going to res it, right? Wow, we have so many competing things to do here. What could this be? Like, maybe an orbital? That's probably fine. If it's the one that we lose 7 credits, it's like, whatever. If we run it, like, we just don't want to steal our trash. Hey, I just realized Surfer, Papicha, Sao, Diana's Hunt gives infinite clicks at 2 credits each on a server with 2 barriers. Infinite clicks? Wait, actually? Saucy first for the DZM's account? Yeah. Draw a card? Honestly, I don't. Probably not. So here we'll slap it. So no matter what, they have... The fuck? Wait, that was not what I meant to do. Wait, is this only on the server you're running? No. It can go anywhere. Why did it go there? What happened? What? Wait, what? I think I'm still running server 2. Okay. But my arrow is on HQ. We'll say that I'm still on course. Yeah, it's weird. Seems like a visual glitch. The log says you installed in the right spot. Yeah. And the Cubone's on the right one. Very strange. Okay. For me, it's wild. If I zoom out, yeah, weird. Okay. Okay. You ever cut that? I don't think I can. I don't actually know if I know what Diana's Hunt does, unless you install a card, right? So if they don't res, we get 2 cards. If they do res, we get 2 credits. Admittedly, whatever they res, we have to face check into. We can't SMC into something. Like, because we did not spend a click for our slap bundle. So here they could hit us with like a Jaguar or something. 4 upgrades is too many? Don't worry, there's 5. But there's probably one B1000 in there. Seems good, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm running. Yeah, okay, let's see what happens. Okay, no res. So we can jack out. And then if we hit this button, we go up to 9. Going up to 9 is a bit ugly. If we get cryptoed, we go down to 7. But at least to 1. But at least we'll have urban art. You install a card for free every time you encounter an ice that run. Since Peach's House starts returning to grip after you've gained a click during a run this turn, and you install it every ice, then use server to keep the run going by moving backwards. Oh, they have a click left. What are they going to do? Market Forces? Yeah, Market Forces. That's fine. All right, they res that. That's fine. Okay, so I don't know whether we want to return any of these. Like, they still have to win the game. And like, we've now figured out how to generate infinite economy. That's our server 2 run. Maybe refreshing the page will clear the visual glitch. It might be. Nah, we don't want to res. I'm good. Yep. No further. Continue movement. Jack out. Run server 2. Like, we just have a magnum opus here. And if they res, we slap bundle them. We just can't run on the next click, because then they can res the ice and we can't Rubicon it. Okay, now they res the Eula. Sick. Okay, so everything's fixed itself. So they just spent 6 resing that. So if we want to de-res it, it only costs us 3 credits. So we're just going to let Unbroken Subroutines fire, and we're just going to de-res it. And that's all we're doing. We're really toxic. End the run. And we'll just de-res it for 6, gaining 3 back. And that's it. That's all we had to do. We needed to get the cube on sooner, but that is the prison that we're trying to build here. If they res, we punish them. If they don't res, we punish them. And then we just have infinite money, and then hopefully that's enough to win the game. It probably won't be. But we've built at least a magnum opus as soon as we put 2 cards there. And the thing is, they can't trash the server unless they put more ice on the server. So stall advance events, they're going for Bologna. I think that's acceptable. Because at this point, we actually probably want to get a second cube on the ice. When con equals magnum opus. Yeah, it's weird how that doesn't work. Oh, we shouldn't hit continue movement because we can react. Cube moved again after de-res. Yeah, I didn't like where it was. Run server 2. Okay, we're back in the game. And now we can steal a Bologna and clear 8. Like, that's the biggest thing. Like, taking your whole turn clearing 8 is just kind of messed up. And they only pay 5 for that privilege, no matter how much money we have. Oh, nice, Beal. Okay, they didn't score out a Bologna. That's better for us in terms of them not having money, at least. This is where, like, we probably should go SMC for a second cube on, because I think we don't have many SMC targets in the deck. Okay. So here we'll run server 2. We have to do this on the window. We'll trash this, get a second cube on. We should have done this a year ago. Host it here. Oh, this is so good. This is not great to generate value. But now we're getting 4 credits a click. Like, it's not magnum opus is better. Yeah, shit. We should have done this 2 turns ago. And now we just have infinite economy. And again, we just don't want to do that last click because then they can res. But we have built poison. We have done it. This is it's art. And I think we're good here. Now we don't want to do it again. If they res 6, we lose our engine, but it's fine. So we'll just click for credit. And then we have everything we need to tunnel R&D. And like, we can do the same trick on R&D once we have good economy, is that we can just get the conduit down and start charging R&D. Because if they res this card, we just de-res it because we're gaining 4 credits a click. We can afford to de-res anything, and then we can just tank through all their shit. We probably don't have to trash that. I don't think they win with having more money. Now imagine you're gaining clicks while doing this. Yeah, I know, Sangren, you're totally right. This is why we need at least one Peach of Sao in the deck, because we could game that clicklessly. Oh my god, it's so broken if we do it clicklessly. They biotic out a Beal? D, how's it going? I don't think they're going to do that. They're a B1001 deck. They spent all their influence on Overseer Matrixes. But now we just like feather R&D. So we need to hush this. So we will just get the hush on it. It's free. And we can dirty laundry R&D. Pretty sure. Oh no, this could end the run in theory. Oh yeah, another funhouse. So that dirty laundry was a bit cursed, but that's fine. We'll end the run. We in theory could install a Saucy on it. I think we should, and we should just de-res it, and that's our turn. Oops. De-res for 2. I'm the criminal now. This absolute shit-eating bird. Just, they have 15 credits. Like, it's a lot of money, but can they afford to do that can they afford to res this? I don't think they can. The thing is, like, I don't know how we move over the birds. I don't think we have to. Now, I think we just run R&D first click. We lost the dirty laundry. We shouldn't have done that. We should have figured out what the ice was first. We have another hush in the deck. Actually, no, we only have 1 hush. No further action. Yeah, that's kind of what happens. We died a snare, but I'm pretty sure people are in Behold more than they are in Snare. So before we encounter... Oh, hold on. Firstly, MU? What? Hold on, I messed up. We have an MU issue? Oh, I guess we do. We should have returned one of these to hand. Wow, we've used up 7 MU somehow. Use the ID. Yeah, that's the problem. I didn't click on the ID, so that's why I needed to fix it. Slap Vandal. So what are we trashing? A Cleaver, I guess? We've seen where the 2 pings are. I think we can get rid of the Cleaver. Yeah, I was going to say we have 2 more Simul chips. They've gone through 2 spin doctors, which is good. The concept of love. Wait, no. Don't. That's not a real tag. Not real. Fake tag. Yeah, not a real tag. Okay, and then we just break it for 1. And then eventually we need a cube on here, but yeah, our MU's a bit scuffed. Warrior Tracker, okay, more influence, that's fine. We're not dealing with the B1001 server. Conduit, place a virus counter. Okay, and we'll just do 1 run every turn, and then the rest of the turns we're just bouncing off the Saucy server. This is why I play 3 DZ MZ. Yeah, it comes down pretty cheap, but like I feel like the DZ is not as important, considering we have like the Urban Arts are installing everything. I'm just wondering what they can trash to like make this bad for us. I guess we draw. We can install the daily cast. I want to just keep 4 cards in hand so they can't like do public trail into public trail and then we have to like worry about it. Hey, Steven. Yeah, it's like kind of working. I think we messed up our early game, but like we're getting to the point where we're now a gross prison deck. It's turn 19 though, and they didn't score out because they were setting up like a B1001 prison. Yeah, I do feel MU starved now. So like DZ's the optimal choice. Actually, maybe there's a chance that like the deck is greedy enough that you could play the terrible card I don't like. It's not that bad. The 3 cost one. Is that still in rotation? That gives you a credit. So like once per turn, we slap Vandal for free. Not that we need the money. But like they have 12 cards left. They have to figure out how to score in a remote server. The Tomorrow's Headline is out. We can consider running HQ, mind you. Oh, we lost everything. No, Cyberdelia, that's it. So now what do we simulchip back? We should have got a simulchip on the table so when they did that, we can get our bird back. Because now actually, I think, again, we did a big misplay here. Instead of drawing, we should have put a simulchip on the table because now we actually have to trash something to get back the Cuban. Okay, so we don't have infinite money anymore. Sort of did. Do the bird breakers still exist? No, they were Khan's breakers and Khan was a flashpoint criminal. Funny enough, not having the cleaver is a problem for the server. So what do? We have to, we don't need we can pay 4 credits to break the ice, that's fine. But we have to put a slap Vandal on the ping and a hush on there. So that's fine. We could just go conduit it all in and tag me. Yeah, but they win with a single copy of what's it called? Freedom through information, let alone the one that puts advancements, shipment from the disperse. So it's like not really an option we want to pursue. Well, there's a saucy. I don't think we care if they res that, right? Like they res it for 5, we go through for 4. We can always install this after and then de-res it. I think if we actually do punish their remote server though, like I don't know how they win. We have 1 click left here to de-res or clear tag. Ideally de-res. At least we have MU back. And also we should get a simul chip down by now. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we're doing this right, but it's exciting. We definitely have some sort of toxic nonsense here. I'm running on server 3, right? Yeah. Arrow is just all sorts of messed up. Okay, so we got our money. It's hushed. Take a tag, not a real tag. Oh, we have 1 more Cubon in 3 cards. Oh, no, we don't. We only have 2 Cubons. So we'll just pay 4. So if it's an agenda, we have to steal it, which means we'll be hit. Yeah, Beal. Okay. Well, we have to do that. So now we could like just swing and run, but I think we paid 2 credits to de-res this thing. Because like we have enough money to clear any amount of tags. The problem is like they can give us tags and then push. Like that's the big issue, is that they can give us tags and then push something in their remote server. It would have to be, I think, the final Beal though, which like that's fine. We can always float 1 tag, I think. And even then, yeah, that's when we could go tag me if we really wanted to. Because we know what all the ice is. Oh, actually, no, because we know B1001. Wait, they win because of B1001 here. Because we can't clear all the tags and have a click to run the remote server. Wait, holy shit. If they have the Beal, we lose to B1001. We lose to 4-2 if they have B1001. What the heck? Wait, B1001 with Oppo is just guaranteed. What? Whoa, wow. Wait, no, I thought they had it. They conceded? Just trash B1001? Yeah, then we get a lot of tags. You're right, we run that. I got nothing that can beat this. GG. Oh, I thought you had it. If you oppo me with B1001 on the table, things get real bad. Yeah, we just have to trash B1001 and float tags for a turn. But then if we don't win that turn, which if we like, so the best play for them would be the Oppo research and install a non-agenda in server 3. And then if we do the B1000 and run this, we need 2 clicks left to like win centrals. Because if we don't steal the winning points, they can very easily just like Vladisabir score freedom. But like, hey, 11 cards left. They have 18 agenda points. So in terms of like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's still 9 points within 11 cards plus HQ. Yeah, so we just trash B1001 and try and win that turn. But like, okay, I think we definitely did not play that optimally. We set up our engine really backwards. We also have breakers that I don't think we have any intention of using. So like, let's go get some slots back. How poisonous can we be? This is weird. This actually kind of works. This is the best deck I've ever played in Rubicon that doesn't have banned cards in it. That like feels not terrible. I'd see that deck again. It was late. Yeah, we also didn't get Kyros, but Kyros technically would have been about a 6 to 8 credit econ card. Add Pikachu. Yeah, we're going to add Pichasau. So let's cut the cards that we don't want to install. We don't want to install Umbrella. We'll play a 3rd Vandal, I guess. I thought the Daily Cast was pretty good. The Joyride is nonsense. The Conduit's important. Cleaver seems good enough. Hush. Cubon is important. And we'll play 1 Pichasau. But now we have too many cards. A single tear rolling down Los's cheek. What is the B1001 combo? Okay, so this is the idea. B1001... Will that work? There's a hyphen, isn't there? Yeah, there's a hyphen. So B1001 says that you can end the run if the runner is tagged. So the idea is that you remove a tag to end the run. So if they give us an Oppo research is the new, what's it called? Hard-hitting news. And it doesn't care about how much money we have. In R+, as long as you have 5 credits, you can give the runner 4 tags if they stole or trashed something. So that turn we stole a Beal, so they can give us Oppo research. So now we have 4 tags. But we only have 4 clicks. So if we remove tag, remove tag, remove tag, remove tag, we're out of tags. Or out of turns, excuse me. Also out of tags. So if we want to remove 3 tags and then run the remote server, we'll still have a tag. So if there's a B1001 that looked like it was on top of that server that had all the nonsense to protect it, we just can't trash the B1001. And so then we can't run the server. So they clear our final tag, but they also win the game. So if that's the case, you have to run B1001 because B1001 inherently cannot protect itself. So in theory, the play for them would actually be to get an agenda on the table and a second B1001. And then even then, we'd have to run the first B1000 and then run the second B1000, and then we could run centrals with our remote server. So it's pretty hard. Snare started mixing a toxic tag for our deck for him. This goes in it. All right. Yeah, I think you're right. Another simul chip seems reasonable because if they trash, we can rebuild our poison. I think that's actually a really good call. But we have too many cards here. What do we want to cut? It would not be checkmate if you have Pichasau. Yeah, exactly. Pichasau saves us. Pichasau means that we can get through there. So maybe Daily Cast is not necessary. The Hush is good. I think the Hush is how we beat a lot of weird eyes. Raketha, you were talking about us getting a tag clicklessly, and I didn't understand it. Pichasau doesn't save us since they can be 1001 before you pass for the click. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, they could do it immediately on approach. Yeah, it wouldn't actually matter. Every single deck has the toxic label. Do we need 3 diesels? I'd argue that we do because we need to set up, right? Like our deck doesn't do that much until we find Lily Pad, let alone our combo pieces. And it's actually a better card than Nuka to set up quickly. Maybe Nuka since Lily Pad is good. It is good, but like imagine we don't draw our Lily Pad. Like if we don't draw our Lily Pad, our deck literally has no card draw besides 3 diesels. That's really bad. So if we do that, maybe we have to play 3 pads, but like we were just lucky we got things in the right order. Like our economy setup was very good. I think they all have that label because we've lost the meaning of toxic. Interaction. We are interacting. Oh, Living Mural. We cut that for sure. Do you need the hand size? Why not use the hardware for the extra click? Because the hardware for the extra click is incredibly expensive. And inherently, Arissana probably holds the cards in hand that she wants to play. So taking core damage is pretty disastrous. But I'm pretty sure Pichasau does enough. Pichasau? We'll get it. Does enough that we don't need to play that card. That card is like really, really low tempo. The what's it called? The coffee one. Abstractly, the coffee one. Synth Clan, right? Like to get this down, you need to install it. You need to take 2 core damage, so you lost 2 cards in hand. And then like I don't know. I'm not like it's not Beth, that's for sure. But I feel like we can get around this way by playing the one that just gives us clicks back. Solidarity Badge for both draw to save us from B1001. Solidarity Badge is cool, but like our deck does not trash things anywhere near consistently, right? Like Solidarity Badge is only good if you're trashing stuff, and we are not trashing stuff. Like this would have got 0 counters in the entire game. I think Solidarity Badge is a good enough card if you're playing a deck or you're playing into a meta that you have to trash a lot of stuff, but we are neither built for either of those. Mid-run, you SMC for Pichasau using Arissana. You can go from 0 clicks to 1 plus an extra click if you run back. It really messes with core playing to have an option. Mid-run, you SMC for Pichasau using Arissana on encounter, right? You go from 0 clicks to 1. Yeah, that's really cool. That on encounter, as long as they res the ice, you can get a click back with Pichasau because it passes after they res. They use B1001 in response to you installing the Pichasau before you pass the ice and get the click through. Yeah, they could. As soon as you install the Pichasau, because you use the paid ability window on encounter, you pass back to the corp, they could pop it there. I imagine a lot of corps would miss that window. But yeah, they could pop the B1001 there. But abstractly, if you have an SMC and you're encountering a piece of ice, you can always SMC for a Pichasau to gain a click. Or SMC from hand with Arissana to also gain a click to get a Pichasau. Or just get the Pichasau and let the Pichasau do the Pichasau if you have it in hand. We'll play 47. We'll see what doesn't feel good. Again, we were pretty lucky that we played slow and that deck was inherently a bit slow. Yeah, I do think we need a lot of draw because if we don't find a Rubicon early, like we literally shouldn't be running. Like that was a problem with our early game. We wanted to run. That like maybe the deck, honestly, I think there's a big chance that this deck is correct by playing 3 Rubicons and not playing Kyros. I'm going to try that because I want to play Kyros because we never played Kyros, but probably finding the Rubicon as soon as possible is like the most important thing for this list. Because as soon as they res an ice, we have no way of de-resing it if the turn ends. And that's a problem for a deck that has very little ways to break ice. The Automata Initiative. Oh, that's none of this is right. Hold on. That's it. Ah, fuck. Sorry. Oh, sorry. I left. I was meant to hit casual. Sorry, summoner. Hey, sorry. Wrong format. Closed it just as you joined. You're correct, Alex, but I forgot they can do that. My last comment was just for the question. Yeah, that answers how we can get a click back. All right, let's see an Asa. Let's see how fast they can go. Oh, this can go fast. This is cool. Builder. Not too much hushable stuff, potentially. Tree line, we can deal with easily. Pharos, we can't deal with. They took a mulligan. Our opening hand has Vernissage, no economy, but a Rubicon. No card draw either. I think we're gonna mull this. Only if the B1001 is already rezzed. And they have to res on approach though. So it always should be rezzed unless they mess it up. Yeah, that's actually a really big thing. Kyle's right. Is that they would have to pre-res the B1001 because they have no window to res during encounter states. So if they don't expect that play during the encounter or during that approach, and then they go to encounter, they actually can't res their B1001. That's a really important point. That's incredibly important. That's a really hard line to call. The only way to make a run with B1000 on the board after Oppo is to go clear the B1001, always have a backup plan, flip switch, no free lunch or wheels. Okay, Summoner, she mulled, opened up with, man, I'm so scared of upgrades. What the fuck? Are these all snipers? These are all snipers, right? Snipers for days. All right, let's just go get set up. We have no, if they don't play ice, we can't sassy. They figured us out. She has our number. Yo, Baza, how's it going? How do you like the new set? Everything is tag punishment. We're getting oppoed in this. That's okay. We didn't steal, didn't trash. Install 10 credits worth of cards. Oops, all snipers. I wonder if they're gonna do like I haven't played yet, and we don't have great play into the Neurospike lists. Funny enough, if they install no cards, like it's hard to get a Trojan down to get it stolen by SDS. We also could have put down an SMC, so we like vaguely threat and clot on what's it called? It's on hostiles. So if we steal or trash, we're gonna get oppoed. That's fine. We can draw to get the SMC down. I don't know what you want to get with the SMC. Are they really not installing ice? Having fun with new cards, figuring out what I'm going to bring to Montreal. Yo, you're making it sick. We got a lot of time to figure that out. Let me tell you, you have 2 Continentals as well to watch. 3 Continentals. What am I talking about? All right. Kind of ugly. Do we check it? We might get oppoed. I don't think we're in a rush to check it. I think we'll just set up. So I think the order here doesn't matter that much. The DZ's probably okay. Speaking of no free lunch, the fact that ping plus 1001 beats it to the end of the run is unfortunate. Yeah. Oh, shit. All right. So we're not very good at assets. And if they res no ice, we literally don't have a deck. So yeah, that's fine. We have no way of generating economy off the run. I think we want to trash that now and then just click for credits. Like maybe we get oppoed. It's a really bad oppo until we have 3 points. But like if that's what they're doing, this is what we're doing. The weird timing that mattered for Loki Ag, boop. Hush stocks up. Yeah, well, they need ice for Hush stocks to go up. Loki Ag is probably really hard to play into Arissana with the Hushes everywhere. It sucks to trash a card like that's key while there's a Spin Doctor on the table, but like I'm assuming there has to be an Angelique. I don't know what other upgrade. Like, do they put a Warroid this soon? Because at least we're happy the Warroid wasn't on top of the Urban. Yeah, of course. Now, if they oppo, they pay 2 credits to give us 2 tags, which is like an economic warfare. In some ways, it's even worse for us. But we're okay to clear that. Prisha, 48 cards. Honestly, yeah, Prisha is an easy card to put in the deck. We have an SMC on the table. It would be fine. If they res 0 ice, just conduit them for the win. Yeah. Eventually. Ah! Unfortunately, it's on top of the Angelique or whatever. How important is this hand? Yeah, they oppoed us. That's fine. They're not doing anything fast. We don't have to do anything fast. We'll just draw. We'll clear 2 tags. Click for a credit. We just keep our money up so we can deal with assets. I was going to say SMC for conduit and they'll want to put some ice down. Maybe Overseer. I think Overseer is likely to. I just don't want to go too hard too because they're probably on our Behold or they're probably on Snare. It's not our, we don't have a huge incentive to go as aggressively here. Because like if we do get oppoed, we steal a 3-pointer on accident, like we're in a really bad spot with oppo. Yeah, understanding what the upgrades are. Like there's no more price sec. Install advance. I think we run it. I don't know what it could be that we wouldn't want to run. Draw. That sucks. It's actually not that bad. I think we just install like the Picha Sao on here. No, we probably just install that. Yeah, we'll run. User value. So we'll install the Saucy on here. Breach. It's an armed intimidation. Something's happening. So we could get oppoed here. Server 1 is probably a real agenda as well. We could run HQ and see if they res. If they do, it will be res for the rest of the game. I think that's fine. I think we just do credit that. Something like that. There's new price tag. Yeah, I think it might be the Correa, the Angelique Correa, which is the new price tag. There's also technically, I don't know her name fully, Daniela Jorge something that could be, but it's a 3 influence card and it only really cares about agendas. But like this means maybe slash and burn or seamless to get the scored a bit faster, but clearly somebody wants to hurt us. And 2 tags, like we saw a shipment from Vladisibirsk, so maybe not hurt us, maybe just fast advance. Again, she can trash the ice here, but she seems to be pretty ice light. I just think maybe we need to prioritize getting, yeah, that'll deal with it. We just vernissage it. Like she could have saved a credit and trashed that maybe. Maybe they're just flooded. Yeah, maybe. She did mulligan and open with a spin doctor though. So like I thought she would have fixed the flood, but maybe it got worse. So like you assume this fixes it. Oh, Prycon, sick. That's actually really difficult for us to face check into stuff because if it's a wall, that's fine. If it's a tree line, but if it's like a Hordem, it's so messed up. We can only break 1 subroutine on the Hordem. We'd break the one that lets them to end the run and tutor. They can gain 4 credits. My bird, pretty birdie. Okay, so we don't really want to run that. We could put some pressure on R&D. Again, once we see another point, we're like in a bad oppo spot. She didn't shuffle back an oppo, but she did just Rashida, so she probably has agendas in hand. We could install a Saucy on HQ and run, but I think we really want to get first our de-res card. Oh, that's good. Can't break a triple advanced Hordem with Slap. Oh shit, Slap's an AI. Yeah, we literally cannot break triple advanced Hordems. Our whole deck cannot break triple advanced Hordems. That's gonna be a problem because she reses them for free. Yeah, we cut our breakers. That's the sort of thing that like, yeah, we have to watch out. Triple advanced Hordems we can't deal with. I'm surprised that you see Prycon. I would assume that you just see tree line, but maybe you see both. I forgot this was an AI. That makes a lot of sense though. So do we want to run? I think maybe we do. I think we just install a cube on it. In theory, we should install a Saucy on it. And then we can just run. If she reses... Oh, no. Not that. I missed. So in theory here, we could install the Cuban. I don't think we do. That's why you need Umbrella? That's one reason, yeah. So she has no action. In theory, we have no action first. So she could res whatever this is. We can react to it. But here we go first. I'm going to say no action. It is a tree line. That's fine. So we're going to continue to encounter. We'll install this for free. Oh, not for free. Well, for free. We'll break its 1 subroutine. So that's the tree line. Good card. That now it makes more sense why these 2 pieces of text are on 1 single subroutine. So here we'll probably see a Correa. It is a Correa, so she's going to pay 2 credits to do 2 beat damage. In theory, we have confirmed the access, so that's fine. Card from hand. Something cool is happening. It's an Angelique. We lost a Vernissage and a Pichasau. That's fine. We kept our Simul chip and our Cuban. That's important. If we trash this, we already are risking an oppo. So, well, we have no clicks left. She has no money. In theory, like if we had less money, she could do like public trail into end of line, but she needs more money. ID ability? Holy shit. Wait, really? Oh, sorry. I think I installed the, what's it called? Thank you, Slap Vandal from hand for a click. And I didn't click my ID. Do you mind if I at least take a credit? Yeah, thank you. I gotta stop installing from my hand. In theory here, we'd rather draw, but drawing seems like we have information on the board state. So if I can just take a credit, it's better. But in theory, we would have drawn instead of taking a credit. Thanks. Huge thanks. Huge thanks. Yeah, thank you. I gotta remember not to do that. I gotta click on her face. So anyways, that's a tree line. If it's a Hordem, we're in a bad spot. So if she scores this out, we need at least 5 cards in hand. Okay. So she has exactly 4 credits. Vernissage to hand. So we need at least to have enough cards in hand. If she scores that, we take 2 tags or 5 meat damage. If she scores at anything, though, that's not an off-world office, she is very bad. The problem is if we hit a Hordem, the amount of subroutines on the Hordem, or the 2 subroutines of which they're absurdly strong, are absurdly strong. So we're going to draw up at least. Okay. All right. It's about how my rounds 3 plus of APAC are going to go. Yeah, I know. Can I take that click back? I installed something. I think we're going to get the Simul chip down. Mind you, Simul chip says an installed trash card. Yeah, installed trash program. We'll draw once more. We could create a commission. I'm just going to install this because if this survives, we need this to survive the 5 meat damage. But if she scores out an off-roll, that's fine. This card is so wild. Like, there's so many things that have to line up for this card to be good. Technically, the only boom type effect in the game now. But hey, it's like Off-World Office with one more advancement. That's kind of fun, I guess. It's really funny how close that is to Off-World Office. I wonder to some extent too if that's just like, if this is specifically, I'm worried there's snare in the deck, but if this is like what's it called, the one from System Gateway that you can advance a bunch. Do we want to take this back? Yeah, why not? You can hush hoard him. Yeah, you're right. You can hush hoard him. No, you can't. I don't think you can, because null signal, the text on null signals hoard him is different. Oh no, it's not. So this is really interesting. The additional subroutines on old Hordem from FFG were attached to the non-text typed text. The additional subroutines on NSG are not attached to the non-subroutine text. So you notice if we hush the Hordem, we can break it with AIs. That's really important. But on things like this, that the subroutines get better, they used to be attached to the non-subroutine text. Yeah, but we can still break it. They'll just be still powerful subroutines. We can at least break one of them. In theory, we could put 2 slap vandals on it. But yeah, we could always pull the hush. Do we run this? She didn't score it out. It's actually like is a functional errata. Like it does actually change how the card plays out, which is like really goofy. Yeah, I think we will run it. We're going to take 2 meat damage. Let's go. Man, I would love a lily pad. Maybe we should play 3. No further action. I'm scared. All right, it's another Correa. It's a Czechus. All right, sick. Okay, so at least we can clear 2 tags, but it's a Czechus Scion. That's so sick. This card's 2 influence. It was really suspicious that she didn't res it. So I don't want to trash this. I mean, admittedly, we can trash it because we're going to probably trash the Correa anyways. We're going to get 8 tags, though. That's a problem. So I think we trash neither of them. If she spends all her money to hit us with, what's it called? So if we don't, yeah, I don't think we trash it. Because if we trash neither of these, we're safe to, what's it called? To, Peachasau use double slap. It's super effective. I would love to get the Peachasau down. Man, traps are real. But yeah, if we trash any of those cards, we get oppoed. So she can't oppo us here. And the oppo would be for the full 7 tags. So she's going to grind us into Correa. We'll try and win off of R&D. Hopefully she doesn't have snare. I wonder what this ice is. It's probably a tree line. I'm assuming if it was a Hordem, she would have rezzed it. We have 6 credits worth of installing, and we have no installing to do. All right, if she scores that, it's probably Rashida or Spin. That's good to install for free. Ooh, we have all of them. Okay. So our last click is Creative Commission. I don't know if we want to show that we have a slap vandal here, so we probably don't. So I think we just take a credit in Creative, unfortunately. We actually probably could have drawn once more there and thrown out a slap vandal. Like, there's no real cost to that. Oh, it's an Urban Renewal. We don't have Pinhole, so I guess we have to go take more meat damage. And then, like, we're worried that she'll Azyef fast advance out. Okay. I guess we're taking 2 more meat damage. She's advancing stuff? Maybe, what's it called? Red Planet Couriers? That would make sense. Okay. So I think we should just deal with it now before we see a border control. We know this can't be a border control, right? Because this can only do advanceable ice. Oh, it can be anything. Wow, it doesn't have to be advanceable ice. Okay. So we want to trash that. Again, we are now risking Oppo. So as soon as we do that, we need to have enough credits. So we got to plan this out. If we put a Sassy on here, if we pull a Hush out, that'll be 2 credits. The Sassy is free. And then we have to trash this for 3. And then we have to have at least 8 credits. I think we're fine. If she pays 7, I don't think that's really good for her. So we'll install the Sassy. And we'll run. Trickleite? Yeah, but Trickleite, you need 2 advancements on the same card. So this doesn't look like Trickleite. This looks more like Red Planet Couriers. You might as well advance for 1 in that ID. Yeah, it's better than clicking for credit, but it also tells us that that stuff is not like it's not border control. Like, you're right, it's better, but it actually gives us some information, a fair bit of information even. We shouldn't have hit this button yet because in theory we could, if they res, we could respond to her. It's a Pharos. Shit. Okay. So we got money. We're not going to de-res that one. That one actually is really hard for us to deal with. It's 10 strength pharaohs. That's a little hard for everyone to deal with though. We de-res it for 7. So we have to use our ability to slap Vandal out on here for free. And then we just don't take the tag. Oh shit, slap Vandal doesn't work because it's 7 strength. Oh, that's a misplay. Whatever, at least it was free. Yeah, well, you can't deal with pharaohs. We have to de-res pharaohs. Draw. Oh, no, we can deal with it. It's just going to cost us a lot of money. Oh, man, yeah, this is where I think we need 3 Rubicons in, because, like, we can't let this happen. Oh, she actually advanced it. That's really expensive. Okay, so now we have to survive the urban renewal. Hush makes it 5 strength? Oh, fuck, Jackson. Yeah, you're so right. It's weird. Hush solves all our problems. Hush literally solves all our problems. So but then we have to like double slap Vandal it and still take a tag, thinking, oh man, this is gonna be bad. But at least she cannot afford really to, if she fires the Correa, she can't really afford to hit us with the Oppo. So, okay, what we have to do is we have to put the second slap Vandal on it, which we can do clicklessly, and then we can use SMC to go get Hush. This is a constant effect, so it doesn't matter when our timing is. And I think that's what we do here. Jax with a good point. Yeah, it's really good. I think that will work. If she fires Correa, we're fine. But then we'll be fine. Server 1. Yeah, we're fine. Ish. Double slap and Hush, yeah, exactly. So we'll get a second slap Vandal down. So goofy. Again, you could do Poison Vial. Then we'll use this to get a Hush. All right. And then in theory, we can break it. Okay, so I'll break for Rude. I have to take a tag, though. That's a double slap. Okay, so we're still going to have an Oppo research problem, but I don't know if she can afford it. So in theory, we should always like let her do the Angelique first. So this is the bad ordering, because if we access the Correa first, we give her less information. So if she fires this, she at least now really can't Oppo us. So that's fine. So we'll have to draw up, I think. And then we draw up once and we remove a tag. So she needs like end of the line into something. Now, also, if she does trash the Pharaohs, like that's bad for both players, but at least on her turn, we can simulchip at least the Hush back on the table, which is the most important card. Not that like tree line we can't deal with. And here is where like we want to Cubon on R&D and we just start smashing and say like res or we win. You can afford to do Cleaver and avoid the tag with Hush. I wouldn't say we can afford to do it. It's still very expensive. It's 5 credits to avoid the tag. That's really expensive. Oh, nice. Oh, this is actually like really exciting. So I think we return the Hush to hand. What could this be that we're worried about on a single advancement? Colossus is fine. We need that for Colossus. Let's go. I want a Cubon so bad. I think we can afford to trash one of these cards to get a Cubon. We'd have to do it though right now. Aket, good to know. Draw. Oh, hey, there it is. I just take a credit, I guess. This is weird. I think we need so much more economy that's install based, because the Urban Art Vernissage, like we're not going to install 8 more credits worth of stuff before the game's over. We'd also value the second Urban Art Vernissage. At least we install that cheaply. And by cheaply, I mean free. Because we want to bounce all this stuff back to our hand. And ideally, we can get the R&D lock going. As much as like it is still really hard for us to deal with the Pharaohs, we need like triple slap Vandal. We need triple Vandal on it. Just like her money is not great here. Is the Shaper Trash or Busta now concerned Doge? It's probably really good, and I think Arissana has so much flexibility in how you can build her. Like this is just like one really weird way to do it. That like, I think we've been lucky that the decks we haven't been playing against are that fast. But that being said, I think Arissana can like sneak around fast stuff with Hush and Slap Vandal. Okay. I think she can score that one, no problem. Because it probably won't be tempo positive, and it can be a checkist. If we know she's on checkist, we want to pressure centrals. We also could check archives to some extent. I'll take the Hush back. You're so rich for Installables, Earthrise might be okay. Yeah, honestly, it might be. We have a lot of cards in hand, though. But yeah, I see what you mean. So I think we're just going to set up our magnum opus. Like we install the Saucy. And then, is there any subroutine that if it fires will be in a really bad spot? I don't think so. Because otherwise we can like spend a click for the Cubon, or we can clicklessly do the Cubon. I think we're going to clicklessly do the Cubon. Maybe the Saucy was a bit greedy. Now we'll use Arissana to put the Cubon on server 1. I don't know what the heck's going on here. What happened? Absolute. Okay, no res. Reversed accounts. Oh shit. I don't want to trash that though. I think it does more damage if we trash it than if we don't trash it. Oh, and we need to draw last click. We need to draw so that we don't have to take 2 tags. Okay, I think we're setting up our prison. We could always like Simon chip for a second Cubon. I don't think we need 2 Saucies. Yeah, right? Yeah, eh? Okay, so let's see what it is. Okay, so it's either 2 tags or 5 meat damage. I don't think we want to take 5 meat damage. I think 2 tags is like much better. Because I still don't think she can do this. You did it wrong again. You clicked the ID, then the card instead of using prompt. Yep. You're right. It has to be ID and then prompt. I did ID and then card and then got confused with prompt. So yeah, 100%. Okay. So I think we actually probably want to simulchip for something. Like we want to trash something. We're going to clear 2 tags. I don't think we have to do it immediately. So let's run R&D. We know that she has a reversed accounts in hand. I'm a bit behind, but once I got a meteor mining kill, one of my fondest memories. I've never scored that one out. That would be really cool though. Ice wall. Okay. Here we could clicklessly install something just so we don't have to discard a card. I don't think we really have an incentive to do that. Actually, yeah, why not? It means we don't install trash. It's free. Okay, I did it right. Okay, we're hoping she's playing 3-pointers. I think the art card has not been triggering to give you money on installs. It's because we haven't needed it because our first install program is being DZMZ'd. Yeah, DZ will take priority. Okay, that's an ice wall. That is something we cannot really bully on the de-res, so we're just gonna have to pay for it. That's okay though. I think we can put a Saucy on it. So we will Saucy it for free, and then we'll run R&D. A former metamate from where I lived in Georgia, space, rocked me with a meteor mining, and I've never been happier to take 7B damage. For real too. Like dying to orbital superiority is also a real thing. Okay, so this we have to use our ability. We actually could consider de-rezzing this. I think we do de-res it. We actually make money de-rezzing the ice wall. What the what's going on? What is this deck? What is it? Wait, what is this? It's a Masvingo. Oh, super cool. So we actually have to just de-res only one of these. We'll de-res the Masvingo. So the Masvingo's res, that is probably the reversed accounts. So this is something we can cleaver through for only 1 credit. We're going to let that fire because we have to let it fire. Good card. Why isn't it a very, very, very bad card? So funny enough, if we de-res this, it becomes more powerful. I don't know which one we de-res, but we definitely de-res one of them because they both give us credits and this is a free install. Like that's so wacky. So whatever one we de-res, we make money. This one, we make more money. I think we don't want to de-res this one because this is also a magnum opus click. That's a magnum opus click. This is a better de-res deck than Los ever was. How wild is that? We just been and clicked a de-res an ice wall and it made sense. I'm also pretty sure this is reversed accounts. But now we just install our cleaver and we go. You can de-res both, right? We didn't have enough clicks. We only had 1 click after that. So we can never de-res the Masvingo, but it doesn't matter. We go through it for a credit. Okay, cool. I don't think we return any of these. We just need to draw so we don't die to snare. Oh, we actually could have returned the this to hand. Okay, so we don't die to snare anymore. This is so funny. No further action. Okay, continue. We make money off this because we break for 1. We want to make sure we play around snare. Actually, she can't fire snare, so we're fine. Oh, it could be an NGO friend, so let's just have 3 cards in hand. But we could always greet out the Saucy somewhere. ice wall. And now we can run HQ and we can get the saucy on this. Hopefully we're assuming she doesn't have snare because she would have rezzed this. Maybe she doesn't hand. But again, we run HQ, we get the saucy on this. If she rezzes it, she's in a bad spot. And she probably has agendas in HQ. We've seen a lot of her card draw though. Can you DJ French for Los, right? Yeah, you could. You could. It hasn't rotated. Los is a card from, oh, we had priority there. We missed it. Los is a card from Mars. I'm not going to pay 8. Oh, it's out of strength. Oh, it's out of, we'd have to hush this. Good thing we didn't use our ability. Insufficient MU? Watch your MU though. Yeah, you're right. Watch your MU. Oh, I goofed that. I messed this up. Messed that up. You can fire it. Yeah, you're right. We need just a draw. I think she's in a bad spot, so we can wait to draw for our. We just need our lily pad. But yeah, if you hush this, it also goes down to 4 strength. So she advanced it to 7, which is a really good way to play around Slap Vandal. So maybe she can go advance this one to 7. The problem is like, well, we will de-res it. This is not once per turn either, right? I feel there will be 2 types of Arissana decks. Those that install Liberated for 0 credits and those that don't play Liberated because they can gain 4 credits clicklessly. Yeah, man. Yeah, the MU sneaking up on us. And like, I don't think we need the DZ as much as we just need an MU card and it's cheap early. But yeah, we definitely probably want 3 copies of Lily Pad. Like, you know how much free card draw we're missing because we don't have a Lily Pad? Because we're so focused on our absolute suffocating engine. Like, we installed so many programs once per turn. And we had the option to like simulchip on her turn. Yeah, it's a reversed accounts, so she popped that really quickly. But yeah, we lost 3 credits. That's fine. Install. Advance. We just don't run it. Like, we're pressuring on central servers and like she has to score a lot from the remote server. As long as we always have 5 cards in hand, and even then, like, we can take the 2 tags like we did before. Choose for urban art vernissage. Yeah, we can return this to hand. Okay, so what are we doing? I think we still hit R&D. We should probably get the conduit out. Let's draw for conduit. Do we lose the conduit? We lost the conduit. So we have to simulchip for a conduit. I feel like a more aggressive player would have done that by now. Yeah, it's wild. Yeah. The downside to simulchip, we're feeling it. The trash clause of simulchip. We don't love that. No further. Okay. This we break again for free. We actually gain a credit. What ice is floating Slap Vandal on? It's technically on this ice. Slap Vandal's been a bit weird. We've had some issues where visual bugs appear around Trojans. It's been strange. RPC. Okay, so we can lose to that. We can definitely lose to that. She actually can like do some weird combo with that as well. I think we need to go HQ, but we have an MU problem. So we need to return this Slap Vandal to hand. Yeah, it's on this. We know it's a ice wall. We'll draw once more. We don't really need this. I think we just need to like throw something out to go get conduit. I think we don't need this Slap Vandal here. We should have got conduit with this Slap Vandal. Yeah, that's a mistake on us. We should also be running HQ. We don't know what this is. It might be an agenda considering we saw what she's been top decking. And I don't think, did she draw last turn? No, so that probably is an agenda that she's been holding for a bit. But we know she has a Red Planet Couriers, which she actually can score out a big agenda here. So the problem here, if we don't have 5 cards in hand, is she can Biotic, Red Planet Couriers, and then like do something with the damage. RPC or reverse accounts is spicy? Yeah, but then she can't do it in 1 turn. She has to like Biotic RPC reversed accounts. Like, and then she depowers all her ice, which like, I don't know if that's game winning. It's neat though. It's definitely neat. But I think if we lose, we lose to the Red Planet Couriers for sure. I just am not sure how we lose to Red Planet Couriers. We probably do somehow. There's probably some weird thing with Meteor Mining and Oppo and Orbital Superiority. Because like we've only seen possibility like 12 agenda points of the deck. So there's something here we're not seeing. I wonder if it's slash and burn. I think we also should check archives to some extent. It's been a while. And I think she might have thrown out agendas early because she wanted to set up an Oppo. And she looked a bit flooded maybe. But if we get conduit down, like I think we just win. I don't think we have to worry about much else. We are doing a really bad job trying to go for a game closing play as much as we've been trying to smother, which I think is a problem with my play patterns generally. 12 credits on this thing, clickless credits, but like we have nothing to install of value. Ah, she's advancing a Masvingo. Okay, so now it costs us 0 to go through. It's interesting. We could consider running HQ. I think we want to run archives. I don't know if we vernissage this because I think we actually destroy this for simulchip. Let's start by running archives. I think she's setting up for the red planet there, so we need to figure out what her deck is doing. Okay, so there's a Mad in there. Holy shit. Funny enough, this is Mad Tech, Rubicon Switch. Okay, so she has 6 credits. I don't think we die to 6 credits, so we'll just try and get a conduit down. So we'll run R&D and see what happens. No res. Makes sense. Break for 2. We will simulchip trash conduit for free. Hedge fund. Yeah, we'll go back. We can get some bad stuff. Now it's just free. Yeah, it's just free. We're not making money anymore. Maybe environment testing is good just because it lets you convert the Vern credits. I think like there's so many problems with environmental testing. It's so ugly in your opening hand. By the time we're already set up that we have our engine is when it would fire. And it's like just worse than daily cast in most cases. Right? Like daily cast is 1 credit fewer, but you don't have to do your work and you get the credits over time to help you set up. Oh, we didn't click the stupid conduit. I messed this up. I didn't click conduit. Sorry. Make sure it's a conduit run. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, if you don't click this, the first run you're fine because you're just gaining viruses, but every other run you won't see extra cards unless you hit this button. It stops you from playing like, you know, Baya bans or other run-based stuff, but... So she has a hedge off the top. That's actually really good for her because it'll put her closer to whatever RPC combo she's doing. Jeff Seething listening to this environment testing slander. Is Jeff on environmental testing? Oppo, okay. I don't want to go last click because if we hit like a behold or something, she's probably bankrupt at that point, but that's probably not good for us. Let's risk it. We're pretty unrisk. I'm a risk averse player, but we need to keep 5 cards in hand. 6 credits is not enough. So at least if she draws the hedge fund, yeah, let's just go in deeper. You are. Whoa. Yeah. Okay. But your deck is different. You're on the prognostic deck where you actually can install really quickly. Or not the the prognostic deck, which like, yeah, I want to see that deck. I think I'd probably enjoy that deck even better than this one. So we just don't want to hit Behold. We don't want to hit Snare. Okay, it's fine. She has agendas in hand. We need to be running HQ. She definitely has agendas in hand. We've seen way too many cards. Holy shit, there's only 13 cards left in R&D. Her hand is all agendas. We're messing up not going HQ here. And like if she's throwing all this out, her hand is all agendas. So we win by running HQ twice. Yeah, this is fine. Okay. Take clicks. So we need to put a hush on here. So we need to return cards to hand. Okay. Divide by 5, exactly. Divide by 5 would have got us there a long time ago. That could be an agenda as well. But this requires 2 cards. So we're going to install this here. We have to install a Slap Vandal. We actually not be, yeah, but if she reses this, she's in a bad spot. Because we probably de-res it. I don't actually think we need to install the Saucy. Yeah, I don't think it's worth it. It's not worth it. We don't need a 2 credit play here. It's a click for 2 credits to install this. It merely has some like mind play. All right, well, unfortunately, we break that for 5. But we are going to de-res that. We can put a Saucy on it and de-res it after this run if we really want to. So we're going to use our ability, click on Hush, click on this, install that for free, continue to approach, continue to counter, break for 1. It won't let us do it. Steal an agenda, or it'll be Red Planet Couriers if it's not. Yeah, that's a problem. So then we have to Saucy this and then de-res it, but we need to keep 5 cards in hand. So I'm going to draw, and then we'll de-res this. She's underneath Red Planet Couriers money, so it'll be acceptable, but that is an expensive de-res. Though admittedly, the more time she spends like trying to keep afloat on HQ, the more time we can smash into R&D. So now we know the next 1 card on R&D. So even our dig will see 4 cards on R&D. That will probably win if HQ doesn't somehow. Holy shit, this is mean. It is turn 20 because we have struggled to convert into a win condition, but that's on us. Like we could have been converting to a win condition, but we are just smothering corporations. I didn't think we would do something like this today. That's fine. That's fine. Again, I'm not sure how direct her classic shaper gameplay. I'm not sure how direct her win condition is. We played against two players that have like probably not the most direct win condition, and that's totally fine. So like, I don't even know if this card. Okay, now we see all new cards on R&D. How good this deck will be against something that is a bit more direct. We're pretty sure this is a Misfingo here on R&D, which is fine. Also, she on only barriers? I think that's all we've seen so far. I think we've only seen barriers. Is this a tower defense deck? It's just barriers and snipers? This might just be a tower defense deck. Okay, we'll take... I don't think we need the hush for any of these. We'll take the slap back. Okay. So I think we can just do sure gamble run conduit. This costs us 1. This costs us nothing. This costs us probably 1. We actually don't even need a sure gamble there. It was probably not right. But here we see 4 cards. It's probably going to win. If we see nothing here, we just smash HQ. With 7, I don't think she can win on a combo. No action. She has no action. Okay. We know this is an ice wall. We could saucy here if we wanted to. I think we do, because I don't think we're going to install another card. So we'll use Arissana. Saucy this. Oh, excuse me. Here. Continue. We just need to make sure we end with 5 in hand. Is this a computer game? I remember hearing it was a paper card game. Rainy, how's it going? It's definitely a card game. But there is an online client for people to play internationally. So like their Continentals is online this weekend. Why are there 2 conduits? But you can play it online or in person. False flag. So cool. Not going to trash it. Orbital. Okay, we were expecting that. Armed, expecting that. Misfingo. All right, good game. That's a hard spot to be in. We only gained 83 credits. Oof, there they are. Did you have any in hand? I was surprised with how few agendas we saw. Yeah, false flags a wild include, but it makes sense. Like, she's playing check as Scion. She clearly cares about tagging. Okay, she has 2 in hand. Okay, that tracks. Yeah, that tracks. Yeah, if we were dividing by 5 anywhere better, we would understand there's some in HQ, but like, even with the cards in HQ, I don't know how she wins. She has to push on here. And like, yeah. Ferris is good, but we can hush it. It's pretty good. Face down is another orbital. Get out. Oh, super cool. Yeah, all barriers too. So like, I think it's kind of interesting. So I think program destruction is better now. I don't know if her deck has program destruction on it, but I think there's always this idea when it comes to program destruction. Like if I build my deck with only barriers and then I trash their fractor, they can't break any of my ice. But I'd argue that's always worth putting in like a Hordem, something that's also an end to run on a code gate, because then still you have a chance of trashing a decoder and that being a problem for them too. Unintentionally, yes. Oh, get out. That's awesome. I was saying that this looks like a tower defense game. Just walls and guns. Yeah, oops, all barriers. I'd argue the Sentry saw it in Wayland, unless you're playing like, I don't know, Op or like outfits pretty hard. Yeah, it's annoying. It's annoying for sure. I need to spend a lot of installs to deal with the tree lines and the Pharaohs. Yeah, the fact that we need 3 cards in like combination to deal with the Pharaohs, like I think Pharaohs is in a really good spot. It's not bad to Banhar. It's not bad to Botulis. Boomerang is like the worst case scenario, but I don't know how well represented Criminal is going to be. Maybe it will be. It's hard to also advance your ice if there's Hermes around, but like advance it after it's rezzed. How are we doing on time? Oh, it's 11:30. Damn. Actually, I don't think we can play another game. These games have been too long. Yeah, that makes sense. It's tricky to play. So this is the really cool thing too that I'm really interested to see from watching APAC, from watching players, and also from watching casting. Is like the narrative of now the decision on what to trash and what not to trash is going to be so important. Like we had the economy to be able to trash the Korea, but we decided not to because we have to play around Oppo research. And there really hasn't been a meta card since maybe Worlds last year where people were playing the home run baseball bat card, the wake up call. But like understanding that like how you play around hard hitting news, you play differently. Like you are encouraged to interact as long as you don't steal an agenda on accident. And as long as you're under threat 3, it's fine. But understanding what to trash and what not to trash. Banner would love this. Banner is only 5 strength. We actually can't banner through a tree line or a Pharaohs. Yeah, we can banner really easily through a Misfingo. But yeah, banner's neat. It's definitely neat. It also strength limited the same way that what's it called is the slap vandal. Oh, yo, news. I wanted to do news earlier, but we didn't have like a deck list of the week, so I missed this. So we'll put this in on the end. Too bad Gagarin is gone. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I think if you want to play assets, you just play op. Shout out to Querying the Message. So QTM is like, I want to say a relatively new testing group that's formed, and they've put out a podcast. We linked in the show notes the first podcast, which was actually recorded weeks ago, even before any of the new spoilers. And this is one that just came out. So shout outs on the first one. It was Izzy, Ellie, and Wirecutter. This is Izzy, Ellie, and Mondi. So together, they're putting together a podcast. This is their second episode, talking largely about their East Coast Nats experience. I've only listened to the first 15 minutes of this because it came out really recently, but I'm actually I think it's great. I don't know why I said actually. Like, this has been a really good listen. And I think it's always like so exciting when you listen to a podcast and be like, oh, that's the first episode. And then you realize by the fifth episode in, it's going to be a totally different beast. And already the first episode was really solid. So shout out to that. Links in the message. This is really exciting. Ellie, not Ellie. Eli, not Ellie. Excuse me. Eli. Yes. Very good. Eli, not Ellie. I read that really wrong. I want to shout this too out. This is really cool. So I was a huge fan of this. So there was the Sahasrara scoop about finding out the name of, I'm not going to spoil the name here, but it's nice. But that was the point of the thing. This existed on green level clearance back in the spoiler season. And this is really cool. This was put together by Harmon B and Ace Empress. So Fern and Harmon B. And this is something they put together as a spoiler. These the two people here, I don't think they're part of of Null Signal Games, but Null Signal Games worked out and reached out and they put together this like narrative adventure where you were put in the shoes of a runner and you make decisions to like run into an NBN server, this mysterious server, to figure out this new ice. And the reward of the game was seeing the new ice, which is it was a really cool game. It was really fun. The way that the game unravels, like the article here goes through how it was designed and the sort of like kind of issues that had to be tackled. That you get to see a bit behind the scenes. It's a really cool read. It's not very long, but it's a really cool read to see how something that I thought came out so seamlessly and like was a very enjoyable experience, the amount of thought and effort that goes into it, which is really cool. And if you missed it, that's okay, because they have uploaded it to, if I'm not mistaken, an itch.io. So the link will be here. It's now available on mine and Fern shared itch.io page. Also, shout out to AMS who coded this together so that you could play it on green level clearance, and it seemed like a lot of work. Favorite scoop, it was sick. Yeah, super cool scoop. But you can do it here and it was absolutely charming. If you want to do it, I don't know how long it takes. It probably takes like 10 to 15 minutes. So do sit down. But like, if you haven't done this, links in the show notes. It's fantastic. So shout out to Harmon B, to Fern, to AMS, and all the other people who also helped with playtesting. This thing was really cool. I think that's mostly all we have for the news. Again, we talked about tickets. Tickets for Worlds are almost sold out. Asia Pacific Continentals, mind you, is this weekend. It's open to everyone. There's a lot of people going to be playing in it, especially from stranger time zones, because most of the people in North America who can't make it to Bellevue, Washington, and shout out to Cascadia, which is next weekend. It looks like a sick event, and you can buy Terminal, what's it called? Not Terminal Directive, but the Automata Initiative there. But for a lot of folks across, even this area are playing in the event. So it's going to be really wild to see everyone come together. And that's just this weekend. Again, that's this link here. It's what's the admission cost? It's usually like tickets you can get on the website. I don't know how expensive they are, but there's like really good participation prizes and some really cool stuff attached to this. $15 American. That's great because you get good participation prizes. And if you win this, or you're in the top so many of the people in this event, you can get invited to Intercontinentals, which is also really fun. And of course, Bloop deck box. Oh, the cardboard deck boxes are back. That's sick. And of course, what was I going to say? This is open to everyone. There's one more important thing here. Oh yeah, new meta. It's the new meta. It's the casual format as it is right now. So excited to see that be pushed to the competitive limit. Otherwise, again, we have our nationals just coming up in a couple weeks. Canadian Nationals. We'll put a video out about it soon. We got an alt-art. We're running a cool event. It's 2 days. Love to have you in Montreal. I'm really stoked for this event, and it's coming up soon. So you'll hear more about it. Was there a deck box from? Yeah, the deck box is from, it's part of the Continentals prize pool, it seems. Like, I don't know if these are, these seem to be official NSG prizes, like botchless tokens. I haven't seen those before. Those are kind of really good. And then they are redoing these old deck boxes. There used to be deck boxes like this back in the day as prize support for like old FFG stuff. And I still use the deck boxes today, the cardboard ones that you fold together. They're really good. These look to be slightly different design. These look like they might need glue. I'm not actually sure how they work, but yeah, they're great. Those tokens look like Doom. I know. Yeah. These tokens look like you can use them in Arkham Horror. No problem. On that note, I think the new Arkham Horror thing is going to be announced tomorrow. That's kind of what it looks like, which is good. I love the deck boxes you used to get from FFG. Yeah, I still have all of them. In fact, I think they're absolutely fantastic. This has to be Dan B, right? This looks like a Dan B keyboard. These are slightly different fold, but shouldn't need glue. Oh, that's really good to know. I don't like glue. Don't like glue. I got in hate for not liking monkeys the other day. I'm so sorry. So sorry. I get it. It's not an easy defendable piece. I also don't like glue. Anywho, I think that's it. I think we're ending on the news. Cool. How's everyone's Automata Initiative been? This is Alexis Spicer for botchless tokens. Oh, sick. That's really cool too. Maybe I should have seen that. Alexis Spicer has that really nice, like, I don't know how to describe that art, but like very bright colors, very sharp edges. This does look like Alexis Spicer. That's really cool. I think the tokens are an Alexis design. Yeah, Ben, you're totally right. Nice. Nice. There's like a whole bunch of tokens, I think, that are like, you know, how there's the boomerang tokens, the botchless tokens. Now we have these for the virus counters. There's like so many cool acrylic tokens that can be made. Yeah. I've loved AI so far. So like, I haven't played too much else. I'm probably going to be playing more tomorrow to maybe record a video. But just to see where I've played some Freedom. I've had a miserable time with Freedom, but that's because I didn't believe in Audrey so much. So I built this engine. I don't think this is good. I'm just going to play whatever Jeff put together. It looks good. I don't think you should do that. I haven't tried yet what's called Epiphany. I think Epiphany is going to be like, I don't know if people are going to like playing against Epiphany, but I think Epiphany seems really reasonable. I want to play Wage Workers. All the like assets they printed seem really good. And then you have some amount of tag punishment here on top of Oppo, which seems good to do. Ablative Barrier has been the sleeper hit for me. Jeff, I don't know if you have a release date for the tier list that will be first up on Jeff's channel. So yeah, we generally do a tier list video for our very early impressions for the new set. So the first one should be up on Jeff's channel relatively soon. And that will be the corp stuff. So you can hear our opinion on all that sort of stuff relatively soon, but that'll be on, you know, Usanganasi, link in the description. I'll send you my list. Feels like I got like 6 slots off. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll watch you play. Yours looked good, but I think you played against the sort of corporations where it does seem good. Like, I feel like this deck, as soon as someone reses a Vampire and Nasa on a central server and you're playing against a Taya, like, oh my god, that's so difficult to get value off of the Freedom. I also wonder, like, if you have to play Freedom. Like, I don't know, 3 Imp Blue is probably not good enough, but, like, maybe I just want more card draw than the deck can offer. I'm hoping during the day Saturday, okay? The Stegodon Ablative B1001 Funhouse combo is impressive. You can set it up. Yo, yeah, I've heard about that. Metamate was talking about that combo. I don't know exactly what it does. I think, Jeff, something that I was told about later that I didn't realize is like the sort of nonsense you can do with Tucana, right? Like the amount of weird kickflips you have with this card in like a Taya, where if somebody steals an agent, so if somebody steals an, what's it called? Okay, so the idea is you're playing a Taya, somebody steals an agenda from a Tucana server, or you're playing Asa, whatever, and someone steals an agenda. I think this makes more sense than a Taya. But if somebody steals an agenda from the Tucana server, Tucana fires, which means you can install a piece of ice. Now, where you install that piece of ice is anywhere. So if you install the ice on the other remote server, that means you can install something into the remote server, which means you actually can like set up ganked loops, or you can feed someone a snare. So that means in theory, if you're playing Tucana and then Fuji, if they steal that and take, 2 net damage, you actually can fire the Tucana to install a card, to install a snare from hand, and then they have to access the snare from hand because it is a candidate. So I feel like there's so many like really weird kickflips as well with Tucana, with all the IDs that get like additional, the same way Ablative Barrier is like a messed up card. Like there's a lot of weird tricks you can do with that. I don't know if they're like first order optimal strategies, but the fact that like at instant speed, you can put a snare in a remote server under an axis is like really neat. I think to some extent too, I think it also still works with Daruma, but I haven't seen Daruma in action yet. When the runner approaches the server, you may trash this upgrade if you do choose one card, but the runner may jack out. So like less consistent, but a defensive option. And again, swap is an install now in Netrunner, which is like so messed up. It's so messed up that swap is an install now. Like what the heck? Oh man, Stegodon Bloop is horrific. Yeah, I don't know about, I think I need to go to the way to play a Stegodon deck because like I don't understand how any of this makes any sense. But yeah, again, tune in on Saturday. We'll have a video talking about all the correct takes and we'll not be wrong. All right, I think that's it. Asa installing Snare and Anemone for 5 unavoidable damage, but the influencers. Yeah, that's a problem. Is like the influence really hurts if you do it out of faction like Asa. So like I feel like you have to do it in a Taya. Daruma's on approach, so it won't work. Yeah, they can jack out, but it's on approach. The thing is on approach, if they've committed to Axis, on approach they have to access, but Daruma says they can't. Unless I'm missing something there. Every time I say Daruma, I'll say it in a different way. Until I've said it all possible ways, and then I'm definitely correct how to pronounce this. If you do swap a card installed in a server with either another card installed in a server with an agenda, asset, or upgrade from HQ. Wait, what? When the runner approaches a server, you may trash Daruma if you do swap a card installed in the server with either another card installed in a server or with an agenda, asset, or upgrade from HQ. Where's this text? What? Why is this text here? What? What? Is there hidden text on the card? What's happening? Why does it say that? Timing chart change, maybe? Oh, because in FFG times you could jack out during approach window. Oh, okay. Because if I'm not mistaken, approach was the like when you pass the last ice. Yeah. So Caprice Nase also has this like really weird timing, which says when you pass the last piece of ice. So like this is a timing window that doesn't really exist formally. So that's why you see different cards. But yeah, that's probably a consequence of the timing chart change. So this is technically not a functional errata because originally in FFG Netrunner, apparently you could jack out during approach. That's so weird to me because like I do not remember that. Like I obviously know that NSG has changed it, but if you ask me to describe you how the FFG window was and when approach was, I have no idea what that was. It's the exact same timing as like Mati Mukundo, but there was a paid ability window after that. So you could always like Mati Mukundo and then still fire border control. This probably has the exact same text errata on it, right? Once per turn when the runner approaches the server, you may install a piece of ice protecting that server in the innermost position, ignoring all costs. The runner's now approaching that ice. Yeah, so it also has it here. So that's really smart. Whenever the runner approaches a server, you may install one piece of ice from HQ in the innermost position protecting that server. The runner moves to that ice and approaches it. If this is not the first time they've approached a piece of ice, they may jack out. Okay, so that's a formalization because FFG's approach window is totally different. Yeah, okay, that makes a lot of sense. I should have got that way quicker. I was like way more excited to be outraged that things were different and I didn't have an understanding of why. Mati Mukundo, if you're reading this for the first time, if this is confusing, it only sort of is. If it looks powerful, yeah, it's banned in standard. It's been banned for a long time. It is very, 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 very powerful. All right. Yeah, unfortunately, that's it. Enjoy APAC. Tune in. Again, twitch.tv/nullsignalnetrunner. Hit that notify button. Like the stream if you're watching on YouTube. Subscribe, follow on YouTube or on Twitch. It helps the channel grow. Greatly appreciated. The BC/Nisei Mark II paid ability window also worked with Caprice because there was a paid ability that no longer exists. Yeah, that was the big thing is like you could Caprice Nisei and then lose the side game and then still border control or still like Nisei Mark II. So it was like a triple, it's not loading, but it was like a triple defense line. It was so absurd. Thanks for the stream. Of course. That's all. Shout out to everyone hanging out in chat. Shout out if you're watching the VOD. Hopefully you're enjoying the Automata Initiative and all the people we played against. Thanks for the games. Take care.